This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Eglinton MP Glennis Hannah Martin says she does not support the RCI project. We'll find out why the education minister is opposed to cruise development at Paradise Island. A new deal for the Grand Bahama Airport and 3 credible offers for the Grand Lucayan. And mom and pop stores are the main ones breaking price control rules. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, March 17th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll meet the contestants in the Mr. and Miss UB pageant that's coming up in just a few days. We'll meet them this morning. And in Morning Blend Business, more of what came out of the Grand Bahama Business Outlook. A lot of news about Grand Bahama. We'll be talking about Grand Bahama this morning. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Education Minister Glennis Hannah Martin says her views on Royal Caribbean International's $100 million beach club project on Paradise Island remain unchanged. She's still against it. In 2021, Hannah Martin called the then proposed deal harebrained. When asked about this by reporters, she said, quote, "My views have not changed. The cruise industry does not require an island off New Providence. What we should be doing is developing cultural and entrepreneurial opportunities for the cruise ship visitors when they disembark. They keep saying there's nothing to do. Well, let's get something done. That argument has run a long time and it's shaped policy in a different direction. We need to see how we can get that going." Hannah Martin also saying she believes that Crown Land should be very carefully utilized because it is a limited resource. Hannah Martin also saying that, quote, "This is a deal that we inherited from the Free National Movement administration. I did not support it then, and my views have not changed on it." Well, last week, the Davis administration announced that it has approved the project, which includes 4 acres of Crown land, and that it is subject to environmental approvals. Tourism, Investments and Aviation Minister Chester Cooper said the government intends to convert the Crown land contribution into an equity stake, and that equity stake will be conveyed to the country's sovereign wealth fund. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper announcing that the conclusion of a deal with a consortium to undertake a $200 million redevelopment of Grand Bahama International Airport. Phase 1 scheduled for completion no later than the first quarter of 2025. Addressing Grand Bahama Business Outlook at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center, Cooper, who's the Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, said the government last month entered into agreement with Aerodrome Limited, a Bahamian company, and Manchester Airport Group Limited, an airport management company based in Manchester in the United Kingdom, and BHM Construction International, a company based in London. Cooper says financing for the project will be provided by the UK Export Finance. Cooper also saying that Lucayan Renewal Holdings Limited, the special purpose vehicle created to manage the operations of Grand Lucayan Resort and oversee its sale, recently received 3 credible offers for the purchase of the Grand Lucayan Resort. He says that he will not say more about a possible deal for the hotel until a buyer has placed funding in escrow and there is an imminent closing. Mom and pop stores are the most frequent violators of price control rules. That's according to a senior price control inspector with the Consumer Affairs Division. Theodore Curry taking questions during the Office of the Prime Minister press briefing yesterday, saying that the bigger stores are often more compliant. He said, quote, because of the cost of doing business, their complaint is it's difficult doing business in the country. So anywhere where they can try and get around the system, they try to do that. And that's him speaking about the mom and pop stores. In October, Prime Minister Philip Davis announced temporary price control measures on wholesalers and retailers, further limiting their markups. The move was aimed at assisting families in dealing with mounting inflation. The measures expire on April 17th. But Economic Affairs Minister Mike Alakitas says the government is considering some permanent additions to the list. Curry's revelation is consistent with warnings from the Retail Grocers Association that smaller stores would struggle the most in coping with the new measures. A pregnant teen who escaped from Wilmay Pratt School for Girls remanded to prison. The 16-year-old escaped on March 9th after she was taken to the hospital for prenatal care. The teenager was being held at the Juvenile Detention Center for car theft. Police captured the teen at Windsor Place on March 14th. She appeared before Magistrate Kendrick Kelly, charged with escape, and pleaded guilty yesterday. The teen has been remanded to prison until May 31st for sentencing. And a Bahamian man who married a second Jamaican woman without divorcing his first Jamaican bride, sentenced to 1 year in prison. 36-year-old Lavardo Ferguson of Pinewood Gardens pleaded guilty to entering into a fictitious marriage and making a false declaration at his arraignment before Senior Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. Ferguson married his first wife, Raquel Brown, on October 11, 2011. He married Christina Dunkley on March 10, 2022. Without first divorcing Brown, Ferguson obtained a marriage license for the second union on February 22, 2022, by falsely claiming that he was a bachelor. On the day of his bigamous marriage, Ferguson also falsely declared that he was single. On March 13, 2023, Registrar General Camille Gomez-Jones contacted police and reported that Ferguson and Dunkley came to the office seeking information about Ferguson's divorce to Brown. A check of records showed that Ferguson was still married to his first wife. During her interview with police, Dunkley said that she and Ferguson began dating in April 2021. She said she learned about his first marriage when they went to NIB. Ferguson was unrepresented at court, said he was unaware of the divorce procedure. He claimed that his first wife's lawyer came to his home a year after they wed and served him with divorce papers, which he signed. Ferguson said he was of mistaken belief that signing the papers ended his marriage. You can read more about this in today's Nassau Guardian. Overseas, after 4 days of destructive wind and rain, local communities and relief workers are now confronting the aftermath of Cyclone Freddy, which has killed more than 250 people and displaced tens of thousands of others across Malawi and Mozambique, and may still cause further damage. Cyclone Freddy dissipated over land late Wednesday, but weather monitoring centers warned that countries are still vulnerable to flooding and landslides. At least 225 people have been killed in southern Malawi, including within the financial capital of Blantyre. Around 88,000 people are still displaced, and parts of the region remain inaccessible. Malawi's president has declared a 14-day national mourning period. In Mozambique, authorities say at least 53 people were killed late Saturday, with 50,000 more displaced. Hundreds of people have been moved to camps, but food and clean water is scarce. In Malawi and Mozambique, where cholera outbreaks were already ongoing when Cyclone Freddy ripped through, deaths from the disease and other waterborne illnesses are also expected to rise. Cyclone Freddy is very massive in terms of health disruption, according to the acting director of Africa's Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, who's warning that there is every likelihood that they may see cross-border spread of cholera, which already has outbreaks in Mozambique and Malawi. Both countries recorded more than 3,000 new cholera cases in the past week. And Chinese President Xi Jinping plans to visit Russia from Monday to Wednesday, an apparent show of support for Russian President Vladimir Putin amid sharpening East-West tensions over the war in Ukraine. It's the latest sign of Beijing's emboldened diplomatic ambitions. Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine is expected to dominate Putin and Xi's discussions. China has refused to condemn Moscow's aggression and sought to protect itself and project itself as neutral in the conflict, even while Beijing declared last year that it has a no-limits friendship with Russia. Both China and Russia announced Xi's trip to Moscow today. The visit offers a diplomatic shot in the arm for Putin, as Western leaders have sought to isolate him over the war, which is now in its 13th month. China's refusal to condemn Russia, while denouncing Western sanctions and accusing NATO and the United States of provoking Putin's military action, has irked Washington as it competes with Beijing for influence. And North Korea saying today it fired an intercontinental ballistic missile to strike fear into the enemies. That's their words, as South Korea and Japan agreed at a summit to work closely on regional security with the United States and stage military exercises around the region. The missile, launched Thursday from North Korea's main airport as leader Kim Jong-un and his daughter smiled from afar, overshadowed a summit held hours later between South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. The meeting in Tokyo was partially aimed at rebuilding security ties between the often estranged U.S. allies in the face of North Korean nuclear threats. With 4 missile displays in about a week, North Korea has ratcheted up its tit-for-tat response to ongoing U.S.-South Korean military drills that are the biggest of their kind in years. In sports, First Class Promotions is back and set to host the first all-female fight night in the Bahamas. The event, initially set for October 2022, but was postponed, will now take place Friday, March 31st at Kendall J. L. Isaacs Gymnasium. The fight night is being held in conjunction with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. The main event of the evening will be a 10-round bout for the vacant World Boxing Association's international title between Canadian Lindsay Garbat and American Jamie the Miracle Mitchell. Bahamian icon and boxing legend Ray Minas Jr. will be honored for his contribution to the sport. Minas is now battling ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, that attacks the nervous system. First Class Promotions CEO Michelle Munnings says they are making a comeback to the sport of boxing after a 10-year hiatus. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And from the NCAA March Madness, plenty of upsets already on day one, and most March Madness brackets obliterated, from the number 13 seed Furman beating 4th seeded Virginia to number 15 Princeton defeating 2nd seeded Arizona. Most NCAA tournament brackets were busted Thursday before the sun went down. The NCAA March Madness Twitter account posted after Thursday's late games concluded that only 787 brackets of unspecified millions remained perfect. Numbers were similar elsewhere. In ESPN's Tournament Challenge bracket game, only 658 perfect brackets remained by the end of the first day. More than 20 million had gotten at least one of the 16 games wrong. Furman received a decent amount of support, though. The Paladins were picked to win their opener in 18.2% of ESPN's brackets. Only 6.6% picked Princeton to beat Arizona. And the Wildcats, going down, did tremendous damage to many brackets. They were picked in 4.9% of brackets to cut down the nets at the national championship game. Arizona was a popular pick at CBS Sports 2, appearing on 96.9% of brackets to win its opener, 84.9% to make it to the Sweet 16, and 55.2% to make it to the Elite 8, 21.5% to reach the Final Four, and 5% to win it all. So March Madness indeed, and more madness expected today. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. And your weather for today, high pressure building across the area. It's going to support mostly dry and breezy conditions across the country today. Beachgoers are still being urged to stay out of the water, and small craft operators being advised to remain near port in the northwest Bahamas and in port in the central and southeast Bahamas due to hazardous marine and beaching conditions generated by swells and rip currents. For all areas today, we're looking at mostly fair and breezy conditions, turning cool and breezy tonight. Small craft operators should remain near port again in the northwest Bahamas and in port in the central and southeast Bahamas. Wind southeast to south at 15 knots in the northwestern islands, east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots in the central and southeastern islands. Seas 3 to 5 feet near shore, but up to 6 to 8 feet offshore in the northeast to easterly swells in the northwest Bahamas, and 4 to 7 feet near shore, but up to 7 to 11 feet offshore in northerly swells in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today getting up to around 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 63 Fahrenheit, 17 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Carifta tickets. The 58th Carifta Games is coming. April 7th to April 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Online at Carifta50.com or at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, Western Grand Entrance. For more details, email tickets at Carifta50.com or call 605-4051.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together. And we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations. We're with you on this journey for every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with you on this Friday morning. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC. 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Joining me now, Stephen Hanna. Stephen Hanna, who is playing the Grinch this morning. He's very grumpy this morning. He's been complaining about everything since he walked in the studio. Are you okay, sir? Happy Friday to you.
I'm not playing the Grinch. This is also not my mic.
I don't know what's going on with you.
I don't know what's going on either.
Okay.
It's fine, whatever.
It is. It's the mic. It's fine. There were
It's
some,
a mic.
Some adjustments. Things
There
change.
were, yeah. Boy.
I mean, things you can't expect things to stay the same all the time.
I was here last week. No one asked me if they wanted to switch the chairs around. This is definitely not the chair that I usually sit in.
Okay.
I can feel the difference. It's too high. It's too.
You can adjust it.
It's too firm.
What?
I don't know what to tell you, Dwight. It's too firm.
Okay. Hey, great to have you with us as always.
I will persist.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you making the sacrifice. This morning, we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to get into that in a bit. Coming up, though, we are going to be meeting the contestants from the upcoming Mr. and Miss UB pageant.
As we speak.
They're here already. They're early. So that's a good sign. And later, we're going to be talking a lot about Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama Business Outlook was yesterday. So some details about the airport and the offers for the Grand Lucayan and more on what's going on. We'll talk about that in our 9 o'clock hour. But let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, some interesting stories in the National Guardian today. Mom and pop stores are the main ones breaking the price control rules. So says the Consumer Affairs Division, the price inspector saying that. And this is what the Retail Grocers Association warned would happen, right? That things are going to be more challenging for them. And but I guess this is a dangerous thing to do. But apparently the major retailers are more incompliant than the small ones.
How is this measured? First of all, I want to say, I thought that was Idris Elba at the bottom of the page. I don't know if that's the...
You're saying the price control inspector looks like a famous actor.
I thought it was Idris Elba.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
There you go.
That's the one for the day.
Mm-hmm.
But...
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
Well, he won't be happy to hear the rest of this. By what measure, which margin are we deciding this thing?
What do you mean? It's very easy. There are a lot of the items are price controlled. When they go and inspect, they're way over the price control limit.
Yeah, but he's saying that more of the small businesses are guilty of it than the large businesses.
I guess he's speaking comparatively speaking.
I mean, how though? What's the percentage wise, or is it actual numbers? Because it can't be actual numbers because convenience stores don't sell as much things as one of the locations of.
You're making it far too complicated.
I'm not making it.
They're saying that when they go to the major retailers, they are rarely in violation of the price control, and when they go to the smaller ones, they're very often in violation of the price control.
Is that what he said? Because that's not what you said.
That's what did I say?
Sorry, could you read what he said? I want it for my clarification.
All right, so our Jared Higgs writing about it. Okay. This is Theodore Curry, who is a senior price inspector with the Consumer Affairs Division. He said, quote, "We find that most of the bigger stores are in compliance."
That's not a number, but go ahead.
"Because of the cost of doing business, their complaint," this is about the smaller ones now, "their complaint is that it's often difficult. It's difficult doing business in the country, so anywhere where they can try and get around the system, they try to do that." Right? Where did I go? Yep. Okay. So, Curry's revelation is consistent with what retailers were saying. The Retail Grocers Association. Curry said, "Quote: We try to admonish and try to tell them that the law is the law, and you have to find other creative and innovative ways to make extra money. If it's on the items that we control, you may have to, unfortunately, pass that cost on to somebody else to make up for the difference. We don't like to do that, but the reality is that's what it is." He said that there have been isolated cases of price gouging, but nothing of major concern. The most major complaint has to do with the volatility of the price of eggs. He said, quote, "Normally there are 6 inspections done on a yearly. Sometimes with the grocery stores, it's more than that. Normally there are 6, 7, 8 times when we go to the stores to do inspections on a monthly basis. If a store is found to be egregiously in breach or it's a severe case, we'll go back the next day to make sure they are coming into compliance with the regulations. If a store is found to be in breach, we take note of it, we bring that to their attention, and we ask them on the spot to rectify whatever breach has been committed. Mm-hmm. If not, a warning is given and documented. We have them sign acknowledging the breach, and we send our complaints to the next level."
Do they then threaten to Never mind. I was going to ask if the mom and pop shops then threaten to fire everybody and go home if they tell them to change their prices. But that's neither here nor there.
Firing mom, firing dad.
Well, why not? Right? Because we're all family here. Lies, dogs. Anyway,
I mean, it's not that.
Here's the
difficult to
question.
understand.
Here's the thing. It is difficult to understand. I don't like the language. I don't like the way it's phrased. I would appreciate if they would present us with numbers. You know, give us the numbers. This is what the price of everything should be, and this is often what the numbers are. This many persons were this far out away from the number.
Okay, so why would they not be telling the truth, or what do you say?
I didn't say they weren't telling the truth. I said I don't like the way the sentences were phrased.
Okay.
We find that most of the bigger stores are in compliance. What is most of the bigger stores? They're two big stores.
No, it's not just two.
I'm sorry.
They're not just talking about supermarkets.
Bigger stores.
They're talking about retailers.
Right.
So there's not just retail.
It's not clothes
just
that they're talking about. They're talking about
no,
food.
but I mean, there'll be stuff that's price controlled at pharmacies too.
So the bigger stores.
Everybody sells a lot of different things now.
I don't know if
you're dwelling on this too much.
No, because they're not mom and pop pharmacies.
Yeah, there are actually. There are quite a few small pharmacies, and there's small.
So there's and how many?
I don't know
large pharmacies are there? I'm saying that I don't like the way it's phrased is very vague, right? And that can mean anything. I'm allowed to draw all sorts of conclusions from that, and rather than me draw my cynical socialist conclusions, present me with some numbers.
Okay, let's leave that there. I don't know what's happening. I feel a little uncomfortable with the direction, but I think it's a relatively easy to comprehend statement.
I understand what he's saying.
Uh-huh.
I don't agree with what he's saying.
But I don't understand what is there to agree with.
Well, give me some numbers.
Okay.
If you give me some numbers, then I could be like, oh, I see what's happening. I digress. I remove myself from this conversation. You're correct.
Oh, okay. Well, I think
just give
a lot
some
of
numbers.
our listeners can point to times when they go in a store and that place has it for, $5 more than if you go to that place, they'd have it.
Right. You know what happens when Steven starts pointing fingers.
All right. Well, the other big story, a minister does not support RCI project. Well, one person who's sticking to their guns on issues, unlike some of the other flip-floppers we have around. Glennis Hannah Martin, she said it when she was opposition, and she's saying it now, and when she's in the government, she is the education minister, the Angliston MP, saying that her views have not changed on Royal Caribbean's $100 million beach club project on Paradise Island. She's still against it. And she's saying some things that we've been saying for a long time on this show, and many others have been saying that needs to be done. She says, quote, the cruise industry does not require an island off New Providence. What we should be doing is developing cultural and entrepreneurial opportunities for the cruise ship visitors when they disembark.
We shouldn't have islands anywhere, to be honest.
They keep saying there's nothing to do. Well, let's get something done. That argument has run a long time and has shaped policy in a different direction. We need to see how we can get that going. I also believe that Crown land should be carefully utilized because it is a limited resource. It's owned by all of our people, and I just have very strong views on it. All right. Let's get your reaction to what she's saying there. We hear that all the time. The cruise lines say that people don't want to come off. They prefer to go to their private islands because they can curtail the experience. They can manage it, and they can ensure that no one's harassing folks. And there is always something to do. Unlike here, where we see it every day, people just walking around aimlessly downtown. Restaurants aren't open. Very few restaurants are there.
Well, Dwight, you know that. We know the reason why.
No, I don't know. What's the reason why? Why are there no restaurants downtown?
Oh, because the people who own the property downtown are
we're going to go back to that again?
That's what I'm saying. We know that. We've tread down that road.
Are you talking about east of E Street or
all of it?
Okay.
Because the thing is, like, the part of Bay Street that is occupied is occupied by jewelry stores.
Yeah.
I think that's it, actually. Yeah. Jewelry stores.
I think there are a few T-shirt shops.
Well, barely. Even that is a dying
far
thing.
too many of them, actually.
Right. But I'm saying, like, it's like 5 T-shirt shops and 1,000 jewelry stores.
Much more T-shirt shops.
Right. And then a couple of American franchises. 5
on a block A. Yeah, you must mean that.
Yeah, but you understand. But I'm saying, like, the persons, because these people have capital, but they don't have imagination.
Yeah, but okay, so that they could want to do that, but why have we allowed them to do that? We reject your license for another jewelry store down here. Get away from here with this garbage.
I agree. I'm 100% behind you.
What have we done?
And I agree with her. If what she's saying makes sense, what you're saying makes sense. I think that every caller will agree. Some of the T-shirt shops will agree. There's too many of us down here as well. There shouldn't be this many of us. If you have 30 T-shirt shops and 100 jewelry stores, I'm sorry, these are cruise ship passengers, not mega yacht passengers.
But they have those things on the cruise too.
No, but I'm saying like it's not like they are. Oh yes, I need to buy 1 million diamonds when I come to Nassau. That's not what
you'd be surprised. But still,
a handful of people maybe. But you're not getting every single cruise ship passenger to buy a diamond.
Something else is going on, and it doesn't make any sense. And these are the same stores in all the cruise destinations. Yeah. The exact same brand names.
Because that's called a lack of imagination.
Yeah.
It's a lack of creativity, and it's a lack of belief inside the Bahamian. We hear people call in and say, oh, the Bahamian culture is the best, and Bahamian this, and Bahamian that. But clearly, no one is willing to put their money where their mouth is and invest in Bahamian culture or Bahamian ingenuity of any sort. So like there are things that can be done. There is things that can be done. And instead of buying an island, because if you're going to buy a whole island and then build it up from the ground up, there's nothing to stop you from investing in any island. I'm just saying, there's nothing to stop you.
From investing where? In your capital city?
No, not necessarily the capital city. I mean, in any island. Or in any already occupied island.
Seriously.
No, that's you saying.
Sure.
That's you saying. I just want your atmosphere. If I could just borrow your house and you could just leave, that'd be great. That's what you're saying when you say, give me an empty island in the Bahamas and we'll make it work.
I don't have an issue with them doing that. Right?
But
they're pushing this because we have failed.
Yeah, and to some extent, yes.
Right? We need to do better.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to do better for ourselves. We need to have pride in ourselves and want to be proud. Is Nassau a city that you can be proud of?
Dwight.
That you can stand up to other places in the world?
Dwight,
Are you
let's
happy?
Be honest. How often are you in Nassau? Nassau proper. Avoid it.
The whole of New Providence is a challenge.
New Providence is garbage.
Downtown.
But you avoid Nassau proper. Everybody avoids it.
Because so few people go through there, it's now easy to get through downtown to get east. And so I'm driving through there more often than you'd think.
But there's nothing to do except to drive through it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to stop there.
No.
There's nowhere to park.
Very few reasons.
There's no food to eat. There's nothing to see. There's not a post office there. There's nothing there. Nassau is
anybody wants to go.
But I'm just saying,
sure,
there is nothing in Nassau proper for Nassau proper for Bahamians. So of course there's nothing for tourists. So it's like that's no surprise. But we have to actually fix it, and fixing it requires us to say, okay, all these abandoned buildings, we have too many. There's a cap. You want to put a cap on how many persons could sell flutes downtown? Well, we need to put a cap on how many jewelry stores? I'm just saying, Dwight. All right? You can't have 30 jewelry stores.
Yeah, it's got to stop.
In walking distance of each other.
Yeah. But that also requires a plan. And there's never been one, apparently, only to frustrate people. That might be the only plan. And as I've said over and over, if we expect central government to fix this, we will be here in another 50 years talking about the same thing over and over and over.
No, I have pledged.
Huh?
No, I said I don't think I could do it for 50 years. I have a lunch thing.
Let's get your views on this. What do you make of what Glenn and Santa Martin is saying? And I say whatever. Let them have their beach club. But what are we going to do about Nassau? Downtown Nassau, and all of New Providence, because there's no reason why tourists have to they're there for quite a few hours. They don't have to be stuck in the downtown area. There can be all kinds of attractions in other parts of New Providence to attract them.
The thing is, they're not.
Yeah, that's right.
They're human beings, and they like, hey, I don't want to go to Junkanoo Beach. I don't want to, because this is what happens. You get off the cruise ship, some like 5 or 6 or 10 of them go on the Surrey rides. A large bunch of them exodus to the right or to the west, and they go to Junkanoo Beach. And then some will be like, oh, well, everybody's going that way. Let's go the other way. And so they go into
plenty will get on a taxi and go to Bahama or Atlantis.
No, I don't say plenty, but some, a significant amount. And then what you see is another portion of them saying, I will rent a scooter and I'll just explore the island for 2 hours. Right? And because you'll see, you'll be down South Beach and you'll see some persons who are clearly tourists on a 4-wheeler headed back up Blue Road.
Yeah.
All right? And it's because why would I want to just go see beaches everywhere? We love to believe that we're the only people who have beaches, that we invented beaches, but beaches exist everywhere. Right? These people are used to swimming inside murky lakes. The clarity of your beach, and New Providence, they didn't have the best beaches in the Bahamas. You know that. All right?
They were good at one time.
They're okay, and they're better than some, but they're not the best that we have to offer.
Not anymore.
Right? So they've seen beaches before. The sun, sound, and sea thing is nothing. That's an empty room. What is in the room is what's going to draw somebody. Nobody says, oh, I can't wait to be in an empty cement box. No. You say, I want to go inside this nicely furnished house. Or I want to go to a movie theater. Or I want to go to a restaurant. You don't want to go inside an empty cement slab. That is what New Providence is when we don't have any culture, when we don't add anything to it. We have to add value to the product itself. And we can't just keep coasting on the fact that people just eat food. They can eat this food. Where's the flavor?
Let's get your reaction. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right. This text here. I agree with Stephen. This is about the price control. I agree with Stephen. It seems like these are off-the-cuff observations without reference to actual numbers or percentages. Did he look at a database? Did he look at every item? It seems like the usual Bahamian talk out of your head analysis.
Yeah, just give us the numbers.
Someone says Stephen simply wants factual data, and that can be easily scrutinized. Thank you. This is back to the RCI, Paradise Island. Thank you, Minister Hannah Martin. I am sure this is the case for the cruise port development too, and she was vehemently against it. I agree with you, Stephen. We call it generalization. Words like most or everybody or every time or always, never. Psychiatrists tell wives to stay away from those terms, even if he always forgets to fix things like he says he would. Okay. This person says here, is this the same Hannah Martin speaking about tourism and couldn't open the schools on time? What now? Yes. And didn't know where students were when they were supposed to be in school? Did she ever find those students who didn't log on to the platform?
That's two unrelated things.
Yeah. Did their parents find them too? You got to ask that one as well, because maybe their parents were happy. It seems
they were working. Waiting for
the parents were working there. Oh, okay. This person says the PLP fighting from within. I thought it was only an F&M issue. That's what you think that is?
I don't think. How is that fighting?
Okay. Well, I mean, we keep saying you want to hear them have their own thoughts, right? And not think like a bunch of sheep. But
and then the next thing is like, her opinion on this matter is not like life-ending or world-altering because like she's in charge of education. If she was the person in charge of tourism and she was taking a completely different stance than the government and saying everything the government... First of all, she didn't say everything the government's doing wrong. She's saying her personal opinion is this shouldn't go in this direction. And that this doesn't make the most sense.
Right. This person says here, your co-host is very gullible or disingenuous. It's actually a money laundering ring downtown. What now? They don't make any...
You know, I didn't want to say it, right? Because the thought...
Well, don't say
I'm not saying it. But I like, somebody's got to say it. Somebody's going to say that.
Okay. Oh, boy.
I wouldn't know, Dwight.
Good morning. The majority of those jewelry stores are just a front. Oh, here we go again. Okay. And another one here. Stephen, be patient. Those old buildings will start transforming right before your eyes when all the construction at the port is done. Yeah?
Anyway, see, the problem is, one, no. Two, I don't want these people to be patted on the back with $500 million worth of love and money in the aftermath. Because all they did was make our lives miserable for the past almost, I would say, over 30 years. For 30 years, they just let things decay. Hotel Corona been closed down for how long?
I think it was only open a year. No, I don't know. It's been a long time.
It's never been open in my lifetime.
Wow. How
old are you
now?
36.
Oh.
All right? And so there are buildings there that have never, ever, ever been in use in this century.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to say...
We have no one to blame but ourselves. Again,
no, but I'm saying...
There are very few places in the world where that would have been allowed to continue.
People would be like, oh, so this country is abandoned then.
Yes.
It's a ghost town. My whole thing is, what I don't want is, when the money is to be made, these persons who sat on it all this time are rewarded by saying, oh yeah, we'll buy your property for $50 million. We'll buy your property for $100 million. No. You should get zero. You should get nothing.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Dwight, the same Ministry of Finance that has been withholding people's business licenses, waiting for this real property tax thing, needs to go and hit up every single one of those persons with back taxes. And don't give them no amnesty period. Back tax from the last time.
I am so sick and tired of this conversation. Take the properties
and
tell those people to go nowhere.
I have zero problem telling them.
Take the properties.
I'm just telling them how to do it on paper.
This person says here, Dwight, there are not thousands of jewelry stores downtown. Well, this looks like to me. This person says here, Dwight, what are you wowing about? Who doesn't know about what those jewelry stores are about? Come on, man. I don't know. I didn't know it. And if you all knew it, you all should be ashamed of yourselves. Because this truly is the clown capital of the entire universe. If you all knew it and just drive by them, oh yeah, that was the front. Y'all are jokers. Anyway, good morning, caller. You're on the
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning,
God.
Steven.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Morning.
I ticked off at you and Dwight for holding me on my cell phone so long.
Oh boy.
That's what I ticked on. There's another thing there.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, Dwight, it's very simple. The monies on Bay Street are being channeled to certain people. Now, when Bay Street used to be flourishing, who used to be down there? Stephen said it earlier. Used to be the natives.
Yeah.
Everybody know natives from small business drive the economy, man. And then when the police started running us from down there, when we used to go down there with our Scotch Concanal collect on Fridays and stuff like that, the Mike Shoe stores and all of them places, the Downtown Express, where we used to go hit up, they run us over the hill.
You're right.
The tourists only come in to drop on $5 because they got 7 other places they can go. Mm-hmm. And they ain't realized that. So to revitalize Bay Street, first of all, you stop the cruise ships, stop certain stores on the cruise ship from opening in port. We probably the only dumbest nation would still do that. Cuba and Jamaica them don't do that. And then you put some high-rise apartment buildings to the east of Bay Street so the people up there could walk downtown and do a little bit of shopping themselves. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. I don't know who these people are we got running those projects. Check out the malls over there, the Carmichael Mall and the Marathon Mall. Those places flourishing.
Southwest
Plaza? That's where the natives shopping.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
So they need to open Bay Street back up, put some food stuff down there, like the French Quarter in New Orleans. You ain't need no bunch of jewelry stores. Different foods, different stuff, and open the place up, close the stores on the ships when they import. And the tourists ain't got no other choice. 5,000 of them to come off to go shopping downtown. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what you're speaking about is right back to the whole point of culture, because culture is what you do. Right, you can't artificially manufacture culture, and I guess to some extent he's correct. When the business model for downtown switched from we are providing a service, which is something that I bring up all the time. It's like your business should not be about making money. Your business should be about providing a service, fulfilling a need. When the model switched from that to saying, oh, we can make more money off of tourists, so let's cater to the tourists and not the locals, and also we don't need no little children on Bay Street, run them from here. We don't want them around the arcades, and we ain't have no more bookstores. We don't have all this different stuff. Of course, when the tourists get there, they're like, oh, this is a tourist trap. Mm-hmm. This is just T-shirts. So I'm going to buy a $5 T-shirt because I need to prove that I was here. But that's it.
Right.
And I'm looking for the cheapest T-shirt because I just want to get a T-shirt. I need to buy one for my nephew or my niece or whatever.
They certainly won't be wearing it in Detroit or wherever
They're not going to wear it anywhere.
Oh my God.
If you're lucky, somebody will sell it to Goodwill in the States, and then it'll end up in a rap video by MIA or something. Remember when MIA had a little Bahamas T-shirt?
It'll be on a bum in L.A. living
That's
on the
more
street.
likely.
Yeah.
It's more likely to end up in a bum, but it might, if you're lucky, end up inside a music video. Okay. But the whole point is the model is wrong. because the people have no imagination. They do not believe in their own culture, if it is their culture, because I don't think they subscribe to it. So that is the main problem. You have to believe in it first before you could sell it. And like they're trying to artificially manufacture it, but you can't artificially manufacture something that you don't even know about.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? Yeah, this is you again on this, Stephen. And people are like, "What? Again? You said this last week, I believe. What is Stephen talking about? Your business should not be about making money."
No, profit is not the primary reason to open a business. Profit is the secondary reason. The primary reason is to fulfill a need. If you are opening a business and you do not have a need to fulfill, you are a luxury and you deserve to crumble.
Wow. Okay. This person says here, nobody's breaking their necks to run to the Bahamas for jewelry. Restaurants that were regularly full closed their doors to become jewelry stores.
Yeah.
And they are certainly not full. Well, you see all the workers standing in the doorway.
Right. Say, come here. Somebody tried to sell me socks on Bay Street before.
What? Well, that's very different. Yeah.
No, but that was just a random person who just walking around with socks inside their bag.
Sell their own socks.
Yeah, they're like
the socks you just took off your feet.
You want some socks?
Yeah. This person says here, I think the lack of parking downtown caused people to flock to the malls, which caused businesses to lose money.
Nope.
It's part of it, but it's not the whole story.
Right, because I'll tell you something, Dwight. There are many businesses that have zero parking, and they are always being occupied, and people are always going to them because people will figure out a way to get to them. We'll figure our way around parking if you have something that we need. There's nothing downtown that a Bahamian needs. Matter of fact, we don't even go to the banks downtown.
Mm-hmm. Only if they make you.
They're the worst ones.
Only if they make you. Oh, wow.
I wouldn't go downtown for free internet.
That would be a terrible reason to go down there.
I mean, apparently that's what all the shift workers use.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
The whole point is, Dwight, there's nothing downtown for Bahamians. Do you know when you get the majority bunch of Bahamians downtown, when they're like, let's go stand in front of Parliament and make noise once every 4.5 years. Because it don't ever be like 5 exactly. It'll be like a little bit inside the term.
Let's read a couple messages as we go to the break. This person says here, the jewelry store racket is in every island. Everyone knows this. Please stop. Okay. Well, all jokey.
Why joke called
jokey, dopey. Everybody's fine with crime and criminality.
No, they're fine with certain crimes.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't the police have a complaints unit for this? Like accounts, finance.
Apparently, based
fraud.
on what this person's saying, everyone's saying, well, everybody knows this. What's the big deal? Okay. Steven's rich, isn't he? What now?
In which country?
Text.
In which country? Which Steven is this?
Watch the money trail. Is he who owns the shop? Then you'll understand the money laundering trail.
Is that the same text?
Yes. Have you ever seen a ton of tourists in any of these shops? And they don't want Bahamians downtown. That's why they got rid of all the local shops.
Yes, they don't want Bahamians downtown. When I was a kid, there was an arcade where we used to go. Like
there were plenty of arcades.
No, but one by Huffers, where it's like you used to go for. There was a bookstore in there, and I used to go there for like hot patties and slush, and they used to sell.
You could find almost anything downtown.
Right, in the old days, in the before times.
Yeah.
But like they don't want you downtown,
No.
and it's like that's fine. If you don't want me here, then I won't be here. But don't complain when it collapses because it don't got nothing in it. Because like you got an empty house, you got an empty, dilapidated house, and then you're wondering why nobody wants to go. Don't you want to go inside my spooky mansion? No.
We're lucky these folks still want to stop here at all.
It's because, anyway, when you have a dilapidated building that's in foreclosure, the bank isn't going to argue with you what you want to do with it. They're going to say, oh yeah, man, sure, whatever, just give us money. And that's where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not a tourism model. That is a different model.
Desperation model?
I was going to say prostitution, but
okay. Wow. We're going to take a break. When we come back, hey, guess what? It's the 17th of March, and apparently some... don't do it.
It is local government month, right?
Please stop.
It's local government. Go ahead.
It's not funny at all.
No, because it's a real thing.
17th of March, and some MPs have still not disclosed they've not met the March 1st deadline. We're going to get into that after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Bring it on home to you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. More warplanes for Ukraine. Slovakia is announcing this morning it will give Ukraine 13 fighter jets. A day after Poland announced it will give Ukraine about 12 warplanes. Also this morning, China is announcing that President Xi Jinping plans to visit Russia next week, an apparent show of support for President Putin as tensions rise between the East and the West over Russia's war in Ukraine. Some of this nation's biggest banks are creating a rescue package for First Republic Bank to keep it from failing. The AP's Ken Sweet.
First Republic is a bank that focuses almost exclusively on the rich. They give very, very favorable mortgages to billionaires. Mark Zuckerberg is known to have his mortgage through First Republic Bank. So they have a very excellent franchise that I think Wall Street wants to save and hopefully stop other banks from ending up in the same position that First Republic is in.
TikTok is pushing back against claims that it could be a security risk. TikTok's Chinese parent company is ByteDance. The AP's Jackie Quinn.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said he was unable to confirm or deny a report that the White House sent off a letter to ByteDance saying it either sells off TikTok or the app faces a ban.
We have legitimate national security concerns with respect to data integrity.
The Treasury Department's Committee on Foreign Investments in the U.S. is also investigating the structural relationship between TikTok and its Chinese parent company. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Protesters in France, angry about a plan to raise the retirement age to 64, have been disrupting traffic in Paris. They oppose President Macron's decision to force a bill through Parliament that raises the age from 62 to 64. This is AP News. A tragic discovery in Mexico. The AP's Norman Hall has this story.
Mexican authorities say some of the 6 women reported missing early this month have been found dead. A prosecutor says there is evidence that some of the 6 women who went missing on March 7th have been found dead. Carlos Zamaripa, head prosecutor of the violence-plagued Guanajuato state, said signs have been found that some of them were killed. The women, who may have been traveling together, disappeared on the outskirts of the city of Celaya. Authorities posted search bulletins for the 6 women on March 9th. For years, the industrial and farming hub of Guanajuato has been Mexico's most violent state, with the Jalisco cartel waging a turf war against local gangs. I'm Norman Hall.
In the nation of Colombia, rescue operations at a coal mine that collapsed earlier this week have now ended. 21 workers are known dead. The mine collapsed late Tuesday following an explosion. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
It is time for your first look at traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. In your real-time traffic this morning, we've got Milo Butler Highway. As usual, the heavy traffic spot this morning from Fire Trail all the way up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway in the northbound lanes there. You can see that heavy traffic. And the traffic's going to extend further north up to the six-legged roundabout as well. The closer you get to that, you'll see that there. At this point, that's the only part of the leg that's having some issues, the northbound approach to the roundabout. Elsewhere, Glasson Road looks like a better alternate route for you to Milo Butler Highway, but traffic is about midway between Fire Trail and JFK Drive this morning. Elsewhere, building traffic on Carmichael westbound to Coral Harbor Road, and we're seeing some congestion on Blue Hill just north of Soldier Road on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Bernard Road looking very busy for you this morning. Traffic from approaching from about Fox Hill, Adderley Street, near St. Augustine, straight up to the intersection with Soldier Village and Wolf this morning. And heavy traffic on Eastern Road, just east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road and Prince Charles Drive at the major intersections. Heavy traffic there. Also seeing some slow-going traffic on Marathon Road, northbound, and on Soldier Road, north of the intersection with Robinson and Prince Charles Drive. That's what we're looking at so far. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your mortgage story today. And time for another check of weather, brought to you by the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival going on now in Georgetown, Exuma. We've got building high pressure across the area. That's going to support mostly dry and breezy conditions across the country today. For all areas, look for mostly fair and breezy conditions. Cool and breezy tonight. Small craft operators should remain near port in the northwest Bahamas and in port in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperatures getting up to around 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 63 Fahrenheit, 17 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that ridge across the area will gradually shift eastwards through Saturday ahead of a cold front that's expected to enter the northwest Bahamas, extreme northwestern islands. The frontal boundary will meander through early next week while enhancing rain chances across the area. So for Saturday, tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny, breezy, and warm with the chance of a few stray showers. And then Sunday could be a rainy day for us. We're looking at variable cloudiness and warm conditions with scattered showers. And the chance of thunderstorms mainly across the northwest and central Bahamas. So rainy on Sunday and even rainier on Monday. That is your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. Get ready to groove to the beats of Bahamian music and soak in our rich cultural heritage at the 17th Annual Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival going on now through the 18th in Georgetown, Exuma. It's the ultimate celebration of Bahamian culture for you and your entire family. Get to Georgetown, Exuma for the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival.
People, what you thinking? We want something different. People, what you wanting? We want local government. I can tell them no more slunking. We want to see it function. I can tell them no more joking. I forgot. Going down Blue Hill Road, going down Village Road, going down Nassau Road. We want local government. We want local government. It's the road. We want local government. Shed a load. We want local government. We got call for local government.
Sign the petition and find out more information at risebahamas.net.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
It's Regatta time again, y'all. This Saturday and Sunday, all roads lead to Montague Beach for the Long Island Association Mini Regatta and Fair. Enjoy food, drinks, and music by DJ Rap with Class E and Class C boats racing. Come see Sassy Sue, Sweet Island Yard, Dream Girls, San Sally, Kings and Knights, Cobra 2, and so much more. And yes, we get dinners. They talk about steak, fish, ribs, chicken, and of course, we get that mutton. This weekend, March 18 and 19 at Montague Foreshore from 12 to 9 p.m. Don't miss it.
Is your 2023 goal to move into your own home? Well, future homeowner, enjoy another payday. Build or buy a home with financing from CIBC First Caribbean, and you'll receive cash back every month for 1 year. A home is one of your greatest investments, so secure one soon. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/homeowners payday for more info. Offer valid from January 9 through to March 31, 2023. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got worries, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know. Downtown, just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose the lights?
We've got some text messages here before we go to the news. Welcome back to the show. This person says here, I worked downtown in the 80s. First downtown became one way. Then parking went to taxi drivers after the malls opened. And then so after the malls opened and having to be told the parking spaces were full every time I went downtown, I stopped going downtown and started going to the Town Center Mall and then the mall at Marathon. And so I had no reason to go downtown. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's experiences. And this one said, and they go on to say, the stores that most Bahamians shopped in started closing one by one, and those spaces were taken over by jewelry business owners. Then Bay Street businesses started falling like a stack of dominoes and never came back. I worked downtown directing traffic as a young police officer. Oh, boy. It's very sad what's happened. And, this has happened all over the world, right? All over the world. But cities have been able to emerge from this with effective city management, local government, elected officials who have been there, and that has been their principal mandate, not to fix NIB or to fix the airport. They have to deal with, although sometimes it's the airport, but they have to deal with that area. Right. And your mic, what's happening with your mic there? Let's get your mic up there. Yep. Let's get Stephen's mic up. But this, we're never going to get this better if we're expecting central government to do this. And the same thing for Freeport. I keep saying it. It's never going to happen if it's central government. Right. It is never going to get better, folks.
As the music crescendos.
We'll be back after the news. We'll tell you about the MPs, what's going on with that. And then we're going to meet Mr. and Miss UB pageant contestants. A lot more Morning Blend coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:24, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got high pressure that's building across the area. That's going to support mostly dry and breezy conditions across the country today. And there are a number of warnings as a result of this. We'll get to those in a bit. But for all areas today, look for mostly fair and breezy conditions, turning cool and breezy tonight. So the warnings for boaters, small craft operators should remain near port in the northwest Bahamas and in port in the central and southeast Bahamas. And beachgoers being urged to stay out of the water as a result of the hazardous marine and beaching conditions generated by swells and rip currents. So for today, we're looking at high temperatures getting up to around 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 63 Fahrenheit, 17 Celsius. Currently in Nassau, it is about 71 degrees under fair skies. In your extended outlook, the ridge across the area will gradually shift eastwards through Saturday ahead of a cold front that's expected to move into the area of the extreme northwest Bahamas by Saturday, Sunday, and the frontal boundary is expected to meander through early next week while enhancing rain chances across the area. So for Saturday, ahead of that front, partly to mostly sunny, breezy, and warm with the chance of a few stray showers. By Sunday, variably cloudy and warm with scattered showers and the chance of thunderstorms mainly across the northwest and central Bahamas. Rain chances definitely going up Sunday through Monday before decreasing by Tuesday. That's your Morning Blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online, or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years as the first Bahamian general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. Time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. In your real-time traffic, still seeing that heavy traffic on Bernard Road, especially near the schools in the area. But Bernard Road from just about Adderley Street, heading toward Fox Hill, all the way up to the intersection with Soldier, Wolf, and Village Road, looking busy for you this morning. You might want to avoid Bernard Road if you can. Eastern Road is going to be busy for you as well, so that won't be a good alternate route. You're seeing traffic from just east of Fox Hill straight up to Johnson Road. Prince Charles Drive might shockingly be your best bet this morning, but still heavy traffic near Elizabeth Estates, and especially on the way to Beatrice Avenue. And Robinson Road's a little busy between Soldier and Old Trail this morning. Elsewhere, we've got Mila Butler Highway, heavy traffic from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. That's northbound lanes there, and that's going to continue northbound for you with heavy traffic to the six-legged roundabout. And over on Glaston Road, also busy for you about midway between Fire Trail and JFK Drive. You'll see that heavy traffic in the northbound lanes. Blue Hill Road also busy, especially north of Soldier Road toward the Independence Drive roundabout. And that's going to continue north on Blue Hill straight up to about Wolf Road this morning. And East Street between the East-West Highway roundabout and the intersection with Soldier Road also busy for you this morning. That's what we're looking at with your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your mortgage story today. We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. All right, so coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be meeting the contestants for the Mr. and Miss UB pageant. And then I've got, we didn't have enough time to do this yesterday, and so I have to do 2 today, 2 tickets. I'll give away 2 different times. Got one.
Crafter?
No. What? Spring Soiree Grand Tasting at Premier Crew next week, Saturday.
What's that?
Our friends at Bristol Wines and Spirits are doing a big thing with the folks from Duckhorn Vineyards, and so they're having a big event.
Is it a wine tasting or food tasting?
It's apparently going to be both. A lot going on there. So we're giving away tickets. In fact, let's do that now. Let's do one now, and then I'll do another one a little bit later. So
you know what we should do? The ticket should be what language should they speak in Ireland?
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because we're not even going to talk about that today because we have no business talking about that, and nobody in the Bahamas has any business talking about that.
About what, Dwight?
About that thing that's happening today, because. Right. Anyway, this is easy. We started this. Is that right? No, that wasn't right. Anyway, okay.
Oh boy.
Wednesday, the 15th of March, the Ides of March.
Yes.
Right. I remember. You know the story. Almost every month has an Ides. Which date marks the Ides of April? If you can be the first to tell us that, you get to win this ticket.
You're just throwing it away at this point.
Well, we don't make it too hard. If you can be the first with the correct date, the Ides of April, you will win. Just give us a call, 323-6232. 323-6232. Be the first and you'll win. In the meantime, let's get to this other story I wanted to tell you about. So it's in the Tribune today.
Wait. You said what is the Ides of April?
Yeah.
Oh boy, Dwight, you've done a thing now.
Yeah, really? Let's see if this person knows the answer.
Ready?
Caller, good morning. Do you have the answer?
Good morning.
Hi.
Is it April, March 17th?
No, we said April, the one for April.
No, I meant to say March, actually, today.
So what's your answer?
March 17th.
No. Okay, that's not it. What? For April. What's happening here? Everybody okay?
I mean, they're still going to get it wrong.
Well, then they won't get the ticket. 323-6232 if you know the answers. So while we wait for people to call in, so the Tribune is reporting that some MPs have not yet disclosed still 2 whole weeks after the March 1st deadline. Public Disclosure Commission Chairman Bishop Victor Cooper said officials are still waiting for some parliamentarians to complete their filings. What in God's name? Every single year we have to go through this? Every year? What's happening here?
Yes, every year we do have to go through it.
The chairman told the Tribune on March 2nd that about 10% of members of parliament did not meet the March 1st deadline. That was
just publish who it is. I don't understand. Because the whole thing.
Because it's a joke to them. They don't care. Nobody cares.
They just publish who it is, and then we can all move on with our lives.
Listen to this. When contacted yesterday for an update, he said, quote, basically...
No, there's one of those words again.
The count is the same, and so we're just waiting for the rest of them to complete their filings.
Just say, you know what? Don't say who it is. Tell me who all did it. How about that?
Who did?
Yeah. Say, these are the people who did it, and we'll congratulate them and high-five them in the road. And we'll just assume that if we didn't hear your name, that you are one of the failures.
Asked the reason why these MPs still haven't disclosed, he said, quote, again, there are various excuses, I suspect, or reasons that they may have, and so we just write and do our part of the job that they're required to do in asking them to get it in.
Why do you have a job? What is your just because it's like I don't know. I guess we just do whatever we could.
Just got to keep trying to get them to do it.
One day.
Massaging their back like, you ready to file yet? He said, quote, their responsibility is to do it, and it's our responsibility to report it to the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Earlier this month, Prime Minister Philip Davis said his public disclosures would be filed on March 2nd if the documents had not been turned over on the deadline. Yesterday, Bishop Cooper confirmed Mr. Davis did disclose, but did not specify which date this took place. Asked if Mr. Davis filed on the deadline, the chairman indicated, quote, he disclosed when he indicated to you that he would. Asked if Mr. Davis filed on March 2nd, Bishop Cooper answered, quote, I don't get into the specificity of that, but we write to them and remind them, you got to disclose. And then if they haven't, some people write for extensions.
You know what I don't understand? What is the point if you're not going to tell us who it is? Because they're supposed to disclose to the public, all right? But if you're disclosing to a private room that won't tell us that whether or not you did or didn't disclose, then why are you even disclosing? Then don't disclose. Then it's just a waste of time. This is a futile effort. Mm-hmm. Tell us who disclosed, tell us who didn't disclose, or don't say anything at all. Because now you're just wasting energy. You're frustrating us for no reason because nothing's going to come out of it. Also, Dwight, I think that you asked a horrible question.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the answer is, Dwight?
Well, I can't give the answer if...
I tell you the answer that you have is wrong.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see if this person knows the answer. Good morning, caller. Do you have the answer to the trivia question? Caller, do you? Hello, are you there? Do we miss them? 323-6232. 323-6232. Let's take this call here as well. Caller, you're on the air.
I didn't radio. Is it April 13th?
That's what it is.
That is correct.
Yeah, well, why would it be a crazy... What did you think it was?
No, I mean, I'm not thinking anything.
No, I'm looking at Steven. I'm trying to figure out what Steven's issue is. It is the 13th of April. Thank you very much. Stay on the line, and I hope you're going to use this ticket, caller. You going to use this? Yeah.
I work for Conville Brewery.
Oh, well, that's the competition. So what does that mean?
I'll definitely use it.
Okay, stay on the line. Let's get your name and number, and you can come and collect your prize after 11 o'clock. He's going to show up to what? Sabotage the people.
No, show up in his work shirt.
The enemy is here. What you going to do? But hey, congratulations. You won the ticket. Yeah, it's April 13th. Why was it a terrible question?
Yeah, because
it's a trick question.
Yes, it's a trick question, I guess. I just assumed that it would be better to ask them, well, since you already know what Ides is, why don't you ask?
I don't know what that is.
What is the fifth? Because there are different ones. There's one for the beginning, there's one for the middle, and there's one for the end.
This is not a physics class. We're trying to make people's heads explode.
Why would it be?
I'm just saying that's hard. We're not trying to be hard. Just not trying to be hard. But that was good. We have got another one. We'll let Steven come up with that one for the next one.
Yeah. What language do they speak inside Ireland?
No. Anyway, you want to do this really quickly? The other story before we go to the break. This is crazy. Now, is this a reputable source though? Yeah. The New York Post, yeah, sure.
One is the New York Post, and the Thingam also shared it. What's the other people? The British one, the Daily Mail.
Oh, Lord. All right, so this one is scary. Developers Bahamas proposal plan ruined after officials assume girlfriend is sex worker. A Miami-based real estate developer's extravagant proposal plan was ruined when an immigration official in the Bahamas erroneously assumed his Moldovan model girlfriend, who was 25, and her sister, 36, were sex workers. Developer Hal Newby Sears had intended to pop the question to girlfriend Darina Pinzaru during a planned 9-day voyage on his 70-foot yacht starting on Valentine's Day, but she was refused entry to the Bahamas, forcing him to put the proposal on ice for now. The decision by a female immigration official, at Lyndon Pindling International Airport scuttled the romantic trip for Darina, a model and content creator, whom Sears met last summer in Romania. She had traveled with her older sister, Ina, but both were turned around and told by the official, quote, I know why you're here. Sears told the Post, quote, it was so horrifying what they went through. It is beyond comprehension. They were prejudged. The Pinzarus and 10 other guests were supposed to join Sears on his 7-foot, $5 million yacht, the Amici, for a lavish trip, dropping anchors at stops throughout the Bahamas, as well as the Turks and Caicos. But those island-hopping dreams were dashed by nefarious prejudice, that's their words, When Darina and Ina landed from London, the two are natives of Moldova who also hold Romanian citizenship and had all the necessary requirements, including hotel reservations and confirmed future itineraries for entry to the Bahamas. Sears, this is a long, rambling on story here. Sears had arrived at the airport to wait for Darina and her sister. Ina says she was initially granted entry into the Bahamas, even getting her passport stamped, but then Darina encountered issues. The pair were sent to the airport's immigration office where they were grilled about their plans. Darina told the Post, quote, "We were treated like criminals. They even threatened to put us in jail." The hotel, they were going to try to go to the Four Seasons. They called the Four Seasons Ocean Club Resort where they were staying for help. The hotel's head of security joined Sears at the airport where they met the head immigration officer, but she was immediately dismissive. On the other side of the gate, immigration officials seized Darina and Ina's cell phones and then detained them for hours. Their phones, laptops, and luggage were all searched, and fingerprints were taken. Ina recalled being asked, "Do you have the financial means to stay in the Bahamas?" I said, "Yes, of course we do. We have cash, cards, no problem." The staffer finally consulted with her female supervisor, and Ina says, quote, "She talked apparently to this lady, the head of the immigration office, and then she came outside, shot a glance at us, and said, 'They're not going in.' Mm-hmm. That's all."
She don't like the look of them.
The immigration officer gave zero explanation for the barred entry. Up until this point, nobody explained a thing to us. While we were sitting outside, the lady, the head of immigration, came out and she said, "Yeah, I know your culture. I know why you're here. We don't want you here, and you'll never set foot on Bahama land." Or Bahamian land. Okay. Ina says she can only assume one thing. "My feeling is that she thought we were from Eastern Europe and that we were here as sex workers. They said they were putting us on a flight back to London, and that's all." Sarah subsequently filed a complaint with the Bahamas Embassy in London on behalf of Darina and Ina. The trio has not received a response as of this week.
Good times. Great taste.
Okay. Well, isn't that something? All right, so
we don't want your kind here. You'll never step foot in this country.
That's very interesting. Okay.
See, it's not just crumbling on one side; it's crumbling all around.
Even for the tourists, we're making their lives hell too. Yeah. Well, that's great. Equal opportunity offense.
She was trying to save them from downtown. It's like, trust me, we know your kind.
Yeah, don't go there.
You don't want to go here.
Right. All right, we're going to take a break and be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
At Doctors Hospital, our lamp just got brighter. The Loyalty Advantage membership program now has 3 unique plans to choose from. From Lamp Prepaid with free Prime Care visits and service line discounts, Lamp Insured with copay waivers and 0 upfront collections at the ER and inpatient services, or our new Lamp Access, a free plan that offers 10% off labs, pharmacy, and imaging. Lamp has a plan for everyone. To sign up, visit our website or give us a call. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now.
Nassau! Join Rise Bahamas online for Imagine Local Government Day, Saturday, March 25th at 11 a.m. Hosted by Naughty with music by DJ Bravo. Play our trivia for a chance to win $500 every hour until 2 p.m. Our speakers Pat Ramming with appearances by Ed Fields, Valentino Scrooge Brown, and yours truly, Tanil Tada Burrows. Inbox Rise Bahamas on Facebook or email risebahamas@gmail.com to register.
We are called for local government.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
My business
couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
Carifta is almost here, and Alive has partnered with TCL for you to capture gold at the 2023 Carifta Games. Switch to Alive and get a free TCL 30 Plus or TCL 30 SE on select Alive postpaid plans to share pictures and videos of our Bahamian athletes as they hit the tracks to win gold. Visit your nearest Alive store or mobile van location and come gold with us at the 2023 Carifta Games.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Tell us we feel it, and we in there. Tell him believe again. The people are rising up, the goods them lining up. We gon' bring it back to Bombay. We about to liven up. Girls them winding up. Gotta roll that bongie like it's in play.
Oh, I got that feeling. Ain't nothing holding me back. So I tell all the gal them I got that feeling. This junk canoe got me throwing it back.
It's going down out on bed. Yeah. Down on bed. It's going down out on bed.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday. All right, so we're changing gears. As promised, we are meeting the contestants for the Mr. and Miss UB pageant. Here to tell us all about this, we've got the contestants. We've got two groups of them, and we're going to meet them all this morning. And also with them, we have from the University of the Bahamas, Director of Greek Life and Student Leadership, and also the Director of the pageant, Ashley Knowles. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Great to be here.
All right, so before we meet the contestants, tell us about this, Mr. and Miss UB. This has been going on for a little while now.
Yeah, so the Mr. and Miss University of the Bahamas pageant has been in existence since the fall of 2017, but of course we've had Miss UB pageants in the past while we were, Miss UB rather, pageants while we were the College of the Bahamas, but we started in 2017 with our first Miss University of the Bahamas, who would have been Naisha Tillis, who's actually an employee at the university now.
Wow.
And so we like to keep it all in the family. She's still working with us. And so this is our, 6th year now? Yeah, so we've been doing this for a while, and we're excited to be back in a normal setting, so to speak. The last 2 years we've been in a virtual setting, and we're back hosting our grand finale on the 23rd of March in the Performing Arts Center.
Well, all right. So, what is the overall aim of the?
I'm gonna say, what's the point?
So the pageants, okay, Stephen. The pageant's point is to allow our students the opportunity to become the university's official student ambassadors, right? And of course, with academics comes other things, and leadership is one of those things that we find very, very important. And so they become the university's student face, right? And not only they become the face, but they also are able to sit at the table with our university leaders and present challenges that they may see university students having. They get to present ideas, program ideas, platforms that they have, and also bring a positive atmosphere to the university. They get to put on programs as Mr. and Miss University of the Bahamas that's sponsored by the university. They get to engage with our community partners. They get to engage with our sponsors and scholarship donors, all of those great things.
Right. So is it a beauty competition or?
It's very, very different from your expected or normal pageant process. It's really based
See how you
on.
circumvent that?
No, it's not a beauty pageant at all. It's a leadership pageant, and it's about students being able to give information about their university experience, share that experience, and actually develop their experience from now. Right. Most of them are involved in clubs and organizations. That's a requirement for being a part of the pageant. You have to have some student involvement already. Right. You also have to have some academic achievement. You can't be the student that's not doing well, right? And so that's already a requirement. And some other things go along with that. During their process of training, they get all kind of training that they've had for the last couple of weeks about how to be a student leader, how to communicate well, how to do programming, all of those things. And then, of course, we add on the other things that people like in terms of learning how to walk, learning how to speak, learning how to do all those things.
Mm-hmm. So how will the winner be determined? The winners be determined.
So the king and queen will be determined on the 23rd on Thursday, but they've already started the competition last night with the talent portion of the competition. So there's a talent portion that was last night. There's a judges interview that is on Sunday, and that is marked the highest when they go and sit before a judging panel. We'll ask them questions about why they want to be the Mr. or Miss University of the Bahamas, why they want to represent the university. And so that's the highest mark. And as you can see, that's very, very important for us because we want that student or those two students to be able to speak well of themselves and also about their university experience and what they're going to do and provide for the university community.
So how much is the talent portion? How much is that?
The talent portion is 10%. Everything else is about 10 and 15%, but the judges' interviews rank the highest. So by the time the judges' interview is done, you can't have an idea of who's going to be the Miss and Mr. University of the Bahamas.
Yeah. And with the final night, that's the 23rd, right?
Yes, and the final night is really just them expressing all of the things that they've learned so far. They'll do a question as well, and that's worth 15%, a final question, and that question is determined by the Vice President of Academic Affairs. So that's always an interesting question. Wow. So we don't ask about world peace, right? They get real questions about things that are happening in the country. Last year, the question was about the war in Russia and Ukraine, right? And so we're asking them for some real world issues and questions and things to talk about to get an idea about what they can share and express.
Mm-hmm. This is some high pressure stuff here. All right, so let's meet the contestants we have.
I was going to start asking them some questions.
Yeah, let's meet them and then we'll talk to them. Okay, so you're going to go first? Yep.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your name?
Good day. My name is Miles Cooper. I'm 24 and I'm your Mr. Business and Hospitality Management.
Oh, hey.
That's the school that you represent, hey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My question is, right, I mean, to all of them.
Let's meet them first. And then
why they have the mic in front of them, just so they don't duck out. Like, what is it that what is it that you're getting out of this experience? What did you hope to get? Why did you join up? And then, two, what are you getting out of it?
When I came to the University of the Bahamas and joined the pageant, I feel like I really came in to really step out of my box and really try to perform the best of my ability. And what I'm getting from it, I'm getting tremendous friendship. I'm learning a whole lot about pageants. This is my first pageant ever, honestly, and it's going very good. Met a whole bunch of people, making a bunch of friends, and yes.
All right. Nice. So he's taking the soft answer. So now the rest of you guys are going to have to give me the, nuclear physics answer. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Patronique Lam. I'm 20 years old, and I'm your Miss Nursing and Allied Health Professions. And the reason why I joined this pageant, well, because this is all a new experience for me. When I joined UB, it was all virtual. So now I'm really stepping out of my shell, broaden my horizons. And what I'm getting from this pageant is, well, to learn new things, meet new friends, as he said, hopefully gain a lot of tips and things that I can use not only in this pageant, but in the real world as well.
Nice.
I forgot that the pandemic was 3 years ago. Yeah. Feel very old.
Well, all right. And your name?
Hello, my name is Takia Holbert. I'm 18 and I am your Miss Education. I joined this pageant specifically to have a new experience, step out of my comfort zone. I'm an athlete, and so you don't really typically see an athlete in a pageant. You don't see the worlds mesh together. And so I wanted to give that a try and see how I would do, but also have a new experience and learn new tips. And I've gotten great friendship. I've gotten an opportunity to learn how to walk better, how to talk better, how to meet people, greet people, just build my people skills, and I couldn't be more thankful for that.
Education with what?
Early childhood.
Okay. Yes. Primary school?
Yeah. Preschool.
Oh, preschool, okay.
Which sport do you play?
Soccer.
Okay.
You're a little tall for preschool, but okay.
It's good, like someone to look up to, you know? Literally.
They're toddlers. They look up to everywhere.
You remind me of Shawnee Miller.
Really? I get that a lot.
Yeah, you do seem like her. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Samia Ramprasad. I'm 21 years old, and I am Miss Chemistry. I joined this pageant because basically everything in life is always an experience. You always could gain new things. It's always a learning experience. So I definitely feel that in life you can always sharpen whatever you think you have, or whatever you think you have, like you probably don't. So you get all that new experience. So that's the reason I joined, and I'm pretty much loving this whole experience.
Yeah. I am curious about the talent competition last night. What was everybody's talent? What was your talent?
Well, for talent, I danced.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you normally dance? Are you a dancer?
Yes, I am. I personally think I have 2 left feet, but I pretty much enjoy expressing myself in dance.
So what type of dance did you do?
I danced to Bahamian music.
Okay. All right. Yeah. How did she do?
I think she did great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Miles, what about you? What did you do for your talent?
So for my talent, I did a recreation of Mr. Macho pantomime, and yes.
I have no idea. You mean?
Well, a pantomime is...
No, we know the pantomime is. You mean Randy Savage?
No, it's something different. It's...
You're very old, Steven.
Who's Mr. Macho?
Yeah. But I understand Randy Savage.
The 50-year-old is calling me old. But anyway, like, don't side on this side, guys.
No, there's nothing wrong being 50.
Just because one of us uses Just for Men beard care, and the other one doesn't.
All right, let's kill his mic.
Don't side with him. Don't side with him.
Patrick, what about you? I
just want to know.
Turn that one off.
What is Mr. Macho?
Mr. Producer.
That's all I ask.
Patrick, what about you? What did you do?
Well, for me, I danced, and the song I danced to was This Sweet Bohemian. I danced to that song because I danced to that in primary school, and I normally used to dance in primary school, so I felt like I should do it again.
Yeah. And finally, what did you do?
I did a spoken word piece. It was a little traumatization, if you will.
Almost want to make you do it on air now.
Wow. Like, you just put me on the spot, why don't you?
How long was it?
It was about 3.5 minutes.
You're lucky we don't have enough
Yeah,
time.
you don't have enough
Yeah,
time.
right.
Gotta keep the
so,
time.
So how you all feeling? I mean, it's only less than a week now.
Less than a week.
What's going through your minds? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's just a whole lot going through my mind, but it's like we still have to be prepared for what's coming.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel any sense of responsibility to represent what student concerns are? As you are, I mean, you guys, I understand you're ambassadors for the university. To what extent does that then reflect back in, like, what all will you be using your platform for if you were to win?
I feel that I do, and personally I think I can almost speak for everyone, that we all do feel some sense of responsibility, whether we carry the crown or not, being in this pageant already makes us student leaders because we have people that are going to look to us and say, I remember he did the pageant, he looks like me. So it means I can do it. And it shows us that we can be the leaders for those students around us. And our student concerns are very important because we are students. And so we have, that we have our own concerns and we have our own different groups of people that may look to us and feel that they can find someone to have solace within us, and it's good because we're able to relate to them.
Yeah. Actually, can you repeat this later? But tell people what they need to do if they want to be part of this.
So if you want to be a part of the pageant, as in to watch the pageant?
Yeah, to watch.
Yes. So you can actually go on our University of the Bahamas Chapter 1 bookstore page and get your ticket online at $25. So everything is online this year. You purchase your ticket online, and once you come to the Performing Arts Center on next week, Thursday, the 23rd, and you just show your code that you'll get from purchasing your ticket, you will get entry into the pageant. And so it's very, very simple. No cash needed. Just order your ticket online. You can actually go to the Chapter 1 bookstore if you're having challenge with that and actually order the ticket through them as well.
Yeah. And again, what time is it?
So this is going to be 7 p.m., March 23rd, Thursday, March 23rd, next Thursday.
Okay, all right. Good luck to all of you. We're going to meet your fellow contestants in a few minutes after the news. But nice meeting you all. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you.
We're going to be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio. Stay with us.
People are rising up, the groups them lining up. We gon' bring it back to Bombay. We about to lining up, girls them winding up. Girl roll that bongi like it's ring play. Oh, I got that talent. Ain't nothing holding me back.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, March 17th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. It's a special edition of the show this morning. First part, we're going to be talking with some of the contestants with the Mr. and Miss University of the Bahamas pageant. And then later we're going to be getting into what came out of the Grand Bahama Business Outlook from yesterday. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. And as we said, we're talking with the students. We met some just a few minutes ago. We're going to meet the others this morning. And back with us is Ashley Knowles, the director of the pageant. He's also the director of Greek Life and student leadership at the University of the Bahamas. And we're going to talk to him a little more before we meet these contestants here. So what comes next after all of this? Where do you see this pageant going?
So for the contestants, once they would have been crowned, they go straight into taking on that ambassadorship, right? And the first major event after crowning is graduation. And so they're going to be a part of the graduation ceremonies and process and programs for the university. And so that's happening. And then after that, we have our student leadership retreat that's going to happen. Well, actually, the student leadership retreat is before the graduation ceremony itself. And so we're taking our students on a retreat, and they'll be a part of that leadership experience for an entire week as well.
Okay.
So the work starts the minute you're crowned.
Yeah. Do you have any issues getting people to participate in this?
No. This year, I think we had about 20 applicants. And so we have 11 contestants this year, 8 female and 3 male contestants. And so students are really interested in the opportunity that it provides. And then also, what makes this pageant very different is it allows every student, any student, to participate. We've had students that are mature students that have families and kids. We've had students living with disabilities, physical disabilities even, who have participated, students, international students, Bahamian resident students. Once you're a University of the Bahamas student, you're able to participate in this pageant, no matter your age, your gender, what you bring, you're allowed to participate. Mm-hmm. And so we're really, really excited about that. And that's a part of the mission of the University of the Bahamas, right? Providing access to education and opportunity for all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do you have to be undergrad, or can be in the grad
So at this
program?
time, you have to be an undergrad student. And that's the only one of the major things. You're an undergraduate student enrolled in 12 credits or more, which most of our students are full-time students with a 2.5 GPA and above.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, excellent. All right. So let's meet these contestants here. Good morning, everybody. Great to have you all with us. You're going to start us off? Okay. Yeah. Let's pull that mic right there.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Janicia Pinder. I am 20 years old, and I am your Miss Biology.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Makari Smith. I am 19, and I am the university's Miss Business and Hospitality Management.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gaia Johnson, and I am 20 years old, and I am your Miss Secondary Education.
Okay. Gentlemen?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jermaine Chambers, and I am your Mr. Chemistry and Environmental Life Sciences.
And good day, Bahamas. My name is Gene Joseph. I'm 37, and I am Mr. Communication and Creative Arts.
All right. Communication and Creative Arts. Let's start with you then. Tell us about this.
Wait, are you that Gene Joseph?
I may be that Gene Joseph.
Correct.
Who is that Gene Joseph?
That you work at you do video, right?
You're already in the media.
Some days.
Yeah. So tell us more about yourself and why you entered this pageant.
Well, my name is Gene Joseph once again. I'm at the University of the Bahamas doing 2 degrees in media journalism and music.
Wow.
I do work at a local station.
You could say that name. It's fine.
I do arts and entertainment at a local station.
Sorry, you embarrassed that. Okay, that's fine.
Not embarrassed.
That's fine.
Not embarrassed.
They compete, but it's fine.
Okay, I work at RNUs.
They
I
don't
do
compete.
arts and entertainment and
they do.
And other feature stories. I enjoy playing the trumpet and French horn. I'm a musician. I've been a musician all my life. I'm at the university trying to pursue my higher education so that I can take that into film and music, film scoring for TV, things along that line.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Excellent. All right, Jermaine, tell us about yourself.
Good day, everyone. As you know, my name is Jermaine Chambers. I'm 19 years old.
Yeah, let's use that one there. Yeah.
I'm 19 years old. I am pursuing my degree in biology with a minor in chemistry. I plan on heading to med school after I'm done with this degree, and my hobbies are mostly fitness. I do part-time teach as a swimming coach with LSB, Let's Swim Bahamas, and their goal is to teach the Bahamas how to swim.
Yeah. And what made you decide to get into this pageant?
I decided to get into this pageant, one, for the experience, of course. Like, it's a new experience for most of us. But also, when you get that position, you're allowed to change the world, basically. Mm-hmm. You get to reach out to the student body and hear their problems, and you can try to fix them. And that's why we each have our own platform that we're bringing to the table.
Yeah. All right. Gaia?
Okay, so a little bit about myself. I am just always excited, very optimistic individual. I am also an SGA representative, which stands for Student Government Association here at the University of the Bahamas. And I enjoy speaking to people. I'm very, very loquacious. And I love it because when I interact with individuals and I gain knowledge and understanding on how the person is, then I just feel excited just to get out there and help them. And so, but yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Makari. Something about me, I am currently the treasurer of a club called Oasis, and we are just a Bible-related club. And so it's been something that I've been able to use to reach out to people, meet different people, things such as that. I enjoy trying new things, and I think this pageant gave me the opportunity to do that. Through this pageant, I've also met so many different people, all my pageant siblings. We're like a family now. It's been wonderful. My walking has developed. My talking has matured. It's just been so much growth, and so that's why I've decided to compete in this pageant, and I believe that more can come from it in the future.
Wow, wonderful. And Janisha.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, my name is Janicia Pinder, and a little bit about myself. I am studying biochem, and like Jermaine said, I plan to go to med school afterward to pursue my further education in medicine. I am from the island of Eleuthera. I am also an entrepreneur, a part of Student Government Association, like Gaia said. I am the senator for the School of Chemistry, Environmental, and Life Sciences. And my platform for the University of the Bahamas pageant, and I think it's just not going to be for the pageant, but as I continue on, is going to be becoming the entrepreneur where I educate and empower young individuals to become entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Janicia told us about her platform. Let's talk about the rest of your platforms and how you're going to implement this and what you're hoping to get out there to the other students at UB. Jane, you want to go?
Mm-hmm. All right. Good day, guys. Once again, Gene Joseph here. They said, you should creep before you walk, but I believe you first have to crawl. And my platform, Crawl, is creative reading, arithmetic, and writing lessons. So I've been going into schools and interacting with students, doing some reading, also going to the music classes. And my platform is going to bring creative ways to enforce numeracy and literacy and help to promote the next generation of collegiate students or even high school students so that they have a better chance at grasping what is theirs in life.
Oh, okay. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, who wants to go next?
Hi, Johnson here again. So my platform is the Listening Air, and it is dedicated to being that listening air for the students on the University of the Bahamas campus. And I also would like to progress in pushing student morale and productivity on the campus, making them aware of the opportunities that are here for them, and also being that voice to voice their dilemmas or the issues and situations that occur in their lives.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I have questions on that one too. We'll get back to that. Right. And Jermaine.
Yeah, of course. My name is Jermaine Chambers. My platform is prioritizing health and fitness in Bahamian citizens. And a lot of people don't know this, but it's around 40% of women and 30% of men that are obese in the Bahamas. And it's not that there's no desire to be healthy or fit. It's just that the environment isn't really conducive of a healthy lifestyle. And I'm here to bring that change. I will be working with the Recreation and Wellness Center at UB, and that's where I'll start giving information and knowledge that I've amassed over my time as, of course, I'm a biochem major. And I'll be able to help the students and from there branch out and help the entire nation.
Excellent. And Makari.
Okay, Makari here again. My platform is entitled Action for AIDS, and so what that basically entails is promoting and bringing scholastic resources to the students at the University of the Bahamas with specifics to peer tutoring. I'm a peer tutor at the university, and I feel like one of the main reasons that students go to the university is to get an education, and so I want to strengthen those forces at the university and just allow people to achieve their academic goals. Through being a peer tutor, I've been able to work with many people, just see their confidence and their academics grow. And so I'd like to continue to allow that to grow at UB.
Wonderful. Now, Gaia, you said something. Everybody can jump in on this. Student morale at UB. Now, don't mind Ashley here. Just speak. Well, what is that like? I went to COB. Steven went to COB.
Oh, they didn't go to COB.
Yeah, this is UB, COB. You went to COB. Yeah. There's been issues. But what are you all seeing, and what needs to change? What can change? What can be done?
What are the students telling you? Since you guys are like, we're the listening ear.
Yeah.
As senators inside the room, actually take your hand off the mic.
So anybody can jump in on there. What can be done to? Well, again, paint the picture for us, and then what can be done.
Okay, so I joined the university in the year of 2020. That was the year of the pandemic. So you can imagine being there, being confused, not knowing what to do. This is a whole new life, a whole new world opening and advancing to you. You're stepping in now to your career, something that you will be doing for the rest of your life. And you're there now like, wow, what's going on? And so because of that experience, I've been able to think about it and just sit down and be like, you know what? I want to go there, and I want to let students know that, hey, even though a lot of situations and circumstances may occur, it shouldn't stop you from becoming the person and individual that you are. And then not only that, when we came back on campus, we started this program called FYE, which is First Year Experience. I was able to speak with the new students that were coming in, these new freshmen, boosting up how students were in the past. If you really go on the UB website, you will notice and see a lot of the things that would have occurred back then all till now. And so where we are now is focusing on bringing back that Mingo spirit, I don't know if y'all know the chant, but it calls I like my U in front of my B, M-I-N in front of my G-O-E. I love my Mingo Sprite, and that's the kind of spirit, and that's the kind of thing that I would love to see within the University of Bahamas.
Okay, all right. Gene, what's your experience been like?
I came into the university in the year 2019. Since then, I've experienced most of the things that normal students experience, sometimes having difficulties getting into class, just the usual day-to-day, semester to semester. Under the leadership of Dr. Rodney Smith, he did great things. Now we have Dr. Eric Rowland. And I can say, as I've spoken to him in person recently, he is here and he is willing to do what he feels needs to be done based on the input that he gets from the community. One of the gripes that I have with my peers sometimes is that we find the wrong medium to bring our qualms out. Rather than taking it directly to the source where we can have a resolution, we vent on social media. And what gets done now? We just jump on the bandwagon. After sitting with the president a few weeks ago, we raised quite a number of issues. I'm a
senator?
I'm a past senator for the School of Communication and Creative Arts. I'm just a regular guy. But, a leader is a leader wherever he is. If I sit in the back of class, I'm still going to be a leader because that's just my innate quality. As a part of some scholars that were able to speak to him, we were able to raise a number of issues. And I can tell you that many of those things were actioned on within a few days. So I know that he is serious about making a change at the University of the Bahamas. He comes from a different culture, and he's trying to merge, from what I understand, based on his words, he's trying to merge what he has there with what we have here. And he's very open to taking feedback and, suggestions.
Is everybody good with morale?
They basically said everything.
Yeah.
Well, they're all in pageant mode.
Oh, wow.
And then, the question that I have, for Gene is that, I hear what you're saying about, the right platform and the right place to discuss and air grievances. And once again, it may have changed. You guys have gone through several presidents since I've left. But one of the issues that we had was that it was only through the threat of public embarrassment that sometimes you could get the college at the time to move in any direction. Because it was easy for them to say, oh, yeah. We'll think about having a security guard stop harassing students.
Just introducing dark clouds and
I'm just saying,
joyous segment.
It helps when you change the name to no longer issues. But I'm just bringing it up as students. At least half of this room grew up with the internet, as opposed to people like me and Dwight, where we had to learn dial-up. All right? How are you guys abandoning this resource? Are you saying that you prefer to keep everything in person, away you don't want to air any grievances? Are you not utilizing this tool at all in terms of mobilizing students to move whatever issues that you guys may or may not have on campus? Or are you saying that sometimes it's there?
So as a aspiring media professional, I believe that you have to reach your publics. You know, everything is optics. So you, as a person who is reaching out for assistance, you paint a picture of yourself in a sense. You know, I don't know. I'm all for putting the issues out there, but even when you're putting it out there, there's a way in which you should do that. So yeah, write your complaint, put it in a way that's respectable, and it shows that you respect yourself and the administration and the teachers.
Ashley,
I think that's a little, you know.
Ashley knows you. Look at you.
Yeah, I'll just jump in for a second. I do understand Stephen's point because I've been a University of the Bahamas COB student as well, and I've had the experience, right? But I think we have done a lot of things in the last 3 or 4 years to increase and enhance that experience. And one of the things that we've done very recently, we've instituted 2 new offices: the Office of the Ombudsman, and then also a new office that just started this semester, is the Office of Conduct and Complaints. And so we have 2 persons, one at the university board level, responsible for dealing with any issues, and then at a student affairs level, conduct and complaints, who deal with students that come in with a variety of issues, whether that's problems with the class or with the lecturer, problems with the security guard, food insecurity and clothing insecurity, whatever that need is. We have somebody now that's responsible solely for dealing with those issues that students have when they come in. And so people always get on us as a university, oh, UB needs to do this, UB needs to do that. And I always tell people all the time, we're still a very young university. When you compare yourselves to universities around the world that have existed, some for hundreds of years, some for over 100 years, right? We're getting to that point of celebrating 50 years as a university. And when we have guest universities that come to our university, they're amazed at what we offer as a university and what they see. When they come to our library, they're like, wow, this is better than our library. Now you're paying $30,000 to go to their school, right? And so we're providing quality public education, and that ain't cheap. But for the students, it's cheap, right? Or free, actually. And so it's been a journey. It's a learning experience, a growth experience for the university. We're getting there. And I think, as Jean says, when students use the right medium and they go through the process of actually saying, hey, I have an issue, I have a challenge, they make sure that that's written and lodged. We go through and follow through with that process as best as possible. But I think overall, going back to Guy's point about that Mingo's pride, like we're now increasing that, edging that pride in our students and building that morale. And we even want our alumni to get in the spirit of Mingos as well. Those persons that have graduated from the university or from COB, come back. We know it may have not been the greatest experience then, but we're working on making it better now, and you can be a part of making it better and bringing your money and helping us do that, because education is not cheap. It's an expensive venture, and so it's something that we have to think about in a holistic sense, and we're getting there. Just this pageant alone is showing the experience that we're developing for our students. And I hope that there are more. I want to say we don't have enough room for as many students to participate, right? But we're creating the opportunity for our students, and we want them to be a part. Last night, I think we had over 200 people out on the park to the talent show, and we were all shocked. We were like, where did all these people come? And it was gold, but they enjoyed it, and they were all out there enjoying the experience, watching them perform with their talents, and so that's what we're developing even more as a university. So Stephen, we want you to come back and be a part of that.
All right, really quickly, tell us what your talents were last night.
Well, last night I played my trumpet. I played Bobby Caldwell's "What You Won't Do for Love." He passed away.
He just passed away
the night before, so I kind of, I did that in homage to him. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Jermaine, what about you?
All right. I sang Hallelujah, Alexandra Burke's version, while drawing.
You sing as well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gaia, what about you?
Okay, so I also sang.
Okay.
I did Whitney Houston by her song, I Look to You.
Okay. Makari.
And I also sang as well. I sang You Say by Lauren Diago. It all came together. It was really just heartwarming.
Very nice, very nice. Janicia.
I definitely didn't sing. So I did a liturgical dance. I danced Speak the Name by Corinne Hawthorne.
Okay. So a lot of talented people in this pageant this year.
No jugglers.
All right, so remind us again, Ashley, about what's going to be happening next week, Thursday.
So next week, Thursday, is the culmination of all of the wonderful things that they've been doing so far. And so on Thursday, the 23rd of March at 7 p.m. in the Performing Arts Center at the Keva M. Bethel building here at the Oaksville campus at the University of the Bahamas, we will engage in our finale. I think they're all excited. And so when you see them get on stage, they will be showing you what they've learned so far. And like I talked about in the last segment, the biggest part of their judging criteria will happen before then when they do the judges interview on this Sunday. And for us as a university, that's the biggest portion. But on Thursday, they will also have their final question, which is it's going to be a really tough one for them, but it's going to display how well they are able to speak about their university experience, speak about things that are happening in society. And so that's a really, really important thing for us.
Yeah, and it's a real show. You got performers as well.
Yeah. Oh, how did I forget this? Julian Believe will be our featured performer. So you're going to get some real good entertainment. Our students will be doing a choreographed opening number as well. So it'll be a fun show. This year's theme is You Be Proud, celebrating our heritage. Of course, we're celebrating the 50th independence of the Bahamas, and so they will be doing that in their opening number and also in their what do you call it again? I forget. Top model section, where they will be demonstrating their Bahamian UB pride. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like.
Okay.
You're fusing the two things together.
It's going to be great. Wishing you all the best. We got some shout outs here. We got somebody says, my niece Gaia in the house. Go Gaia from your Auntie D.
Okay.
So you got people listening in. So good luck to all of you, though. Thank you all for being here this morning. I got everybody's name. Janicia, Makari, Gaia, Jermaine, Jean. We got Miles, Patrick, Takia, and Samaya. Yeah, that's everybody?
Samia, yeah.
Samia? Okay. Good luck to all of you. Great to talk with you this morning.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break and be back with Morning Blend Business after this. Stay with us.
People are rising up, the goods them lining up. We gon' bring it back to Bombay. We about to lining up, girls them winding up. Girl, roll that bongie like it's in gray.
Oh, I got that feeling. Ain't nothing holding me back. So I tell all the gal them, I got that feeling. This junk canoe got me throwing it back.
It's going down out on Bay.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Sand Dollar is a safe and easy alternative to cash. It is the digital version of the Bahamian dollar we know so well. Like banknotes and coins, the Sand Dollar is legal tender issued and regulated by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. Unlike cryptocurrencies, you can't invest in sand dollars, just like you can't invest in cash. One sand dollar will always be worth one Bahamian dollar.
Learn more about the digital Bahamian dollar at sanddollar.bs.
Get your Carifta tickets. The 50th Carifta Games is coming. April 7th to April 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Online at carifta50.com or at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, Western Grand Entrance. For more details, email tickets@carifta50.com or call 605-4051.
You could win your share of $1,000 and free annual memberships when you apply for your Mobile Assist Visa Travel Rewards Card. It's a prepaid visa that gives you access to travel and online shopping deals worldwide every single day. Enter automatically when you successfully apply through our Mobile Assist app. Use your prepaid visa 5 times or more, and you are automatically entered to win your share of $1,000. See our social media pages for more details. Apply, save, and win with Mobile Assist.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, announcing a new $300 million development slated for West Grand Bahama called Eden. He said the development will break ground by the fourth quarter of this year. Cooper making the announcement during the keynote address at the Grand Bahama Business Outlook yesterday. He said Eden Hotels and Resorts is a Bahamian registered company, while its principals are based in the United States. Cooper explained that the group, which he said has extensive experience in commercial real estate, will develop an eco-resort community and sustainable farm for aquaculture on 93 acres of waterfront property. He says Eden is already in the process of purchasing the 93 acres of waterfront property, and explained that the principals of the company are right now already operating a sustainable agriculture research program along with the University of Rhode Island through a public-private partnership. Get details on that story in today's Guardian Business section. Lucayan Renewals Holdings Limited, the special purpose vehicle created to manage the operations of the Grand Lucayan Resort and oversee its sale, reviewing 3 credible offers for the purchase of the resort. Deputy Prime Minister Cooper saying that he's not going to say much more about this until a buyer has placed funding in escrow and there is an imminent closing. Cooper, again, speaking at Business Outlook yesterday, Grand Bahama Business Outlook. He said that while the government could have sold the resort already, hinting that they could have taken any of the offers already, he says they're still waiting for the offer that will turn the Grand Lucayan into a world-class facility. He says it's key to have the resort developed and redeveloped with the full complement of construction and operational staff employed. Grand Bahama has $1 billion worth of projects in the pipeline, including the Royal Caribbean International and ITM Group's $70 million redevelopment of the Grand Bahama Cruise Port, which Grand Bahama Port Authority President Ian Roll said could bring about 1 million cruise passengers to Grand Bahama each year. Roll, while laying out some of the projects slated for Grand Bahama, pointed to the contribution both RCI and Carnival Cruise Line's new cruise ports could make to the island, While he highlighted the players behind the cruise port redevelopment, RCI and ITM, he said there is a third player in the port redevelopment deal who will be disclosed in short order. And the Consumer Protection Commission Research and Training Manager LeVay Darling says his agency is working with the central bank to codify merchant service agreements in legislation, as moral persuasion thus far has not deterred some merchants from charging extra fees to customers for choosing to transact with debit or credit cards. He says the merchant service agreements for using a credit card stipulates that you're not supposed to have a minimum purchase, and you're not supposed to be charged a convenience fee for using your debt or debit or credit card. He said that's a matter of major concern for the Consumer Protection Commission and the central bank. Overseas, the parent of Silicon Valley Bank, seized last week by the U.S., is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. SVB Financial Group, along with its CEO and its chief financial officer, were targeted this week in a class action lawsuit that claims the company didn't disclose the risks that future interest rate increases would have on its business. SVB Financial Group is no longer affiliated with Silicon Valley Bank, and its seizure by Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Its collapse was the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history after the demise of Washington Mutual in 2008. The bank's successor, Silicon Valley Bridge Bank, is being run under the jurisdiction of the FDIC and is not included in the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. And TikTok is once again fending off claims that its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, would share user data from its popular video sharing app with the Chinese government or push propaganda and misinformation on its behalf. China's foreign ministry Wednesday accusing the United States itself of spreading disinformation about TikTok's potential security risks, following a report in the Wall Street Journal that the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S., part of the Treasury Department, was threatening a U.S. ban on the app unless its Chinese owners divest their stake. So questions are remaining about whether the data security risks are real, and should users be worried that the TikTok app will be wiped off their phones. Both the FBI and the Federal Communications Commission have warned that ByteDance could share TikTok user data, such as browsing history, location, and biometric identifiers, with China's authoritarian government. A law implemented by China in 2017 requires companies to give the government any personal data relevant to the country's national security. There's no evidence, though, that TikTok has turned over such data, but fears abound due to the vast amount of data it has on users, like other social media companies, which collect that information. And Greece announcing today an increase in the minimum wage that will restore pay to levels existing before sweeping cuts were imposed more than a decade ago during an international bailout. The Prime Minister is saying the gross minimum monthly salary will go up on April 1st to €780 or $830 from €713. His government, whose center-right government faces a general election this spring, is under pressure from lenders. Greece, well, if you can recall, imposed those severe pay cuts back in 2012 during bailout programs funded by the European Union and International Monetary Fund. Closer to home in your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Thursday. Your market movers: Commonwealth Bank moving 8,200 shares, closing at $3.40, down 18 cents. Bank of the Bahamas moving 100, unchanged at $3.40. Consolidated Water unchanged at $3.10. Emir Incorporated unchanged at $9.57. Commonwealth Brewery moving 100, closing at $11, unchanged. Focol moving 40,000, unchanged at $4. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,500.20, down 24.45. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Them lining up. We gon' bring it back to Bombay. We about to line it up. them winding up. Girl, roll that boogie like it's Sinclair.
Oh, I got that feeling. Ain't nothing holding me back. So I tell all the gal them, I got that feeling. This junk canoe got me throwing it back.
It's going down out on bed. Yeah. Down on bed. It's going down out on bed. Yeah. Down on bed. So we tell them, oh na na, oh na na na, oh na na, oh na na na, oh na na, oh na na na. It's going down out on bed.
We are back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio. Dwight Strong along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning, our final few minutes. And we wanted to talk about the Grand Bahama. A lot of news coming out of the Grand Bahama Business Outlook yesterday. So we heard that there is a deal with the airport, that we've got the new deal. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, Minister of Tourism as well, announcing that a consortium is going to undertake a $200 million redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport. Phase 1, scheduled for completion no later than the first quarter of 2025. The group, the agreement that they entered into is with Aerodrome Limited, a Bahamian company, and Manchester Airport Group, an airport management company based in Manchester in the UK, and BHM Construction International, a company based in London, financing coming through the UK Export Finance. And the deal is a joint venture consortium successfully bid to design, build, finance, operate, maintain, and develop the Grand Bahama International Airport, and to generate traffic to grow revenue and to further enhance Grand Bahama International Airport. Okay. Cooper says, quote, Aerodrome is a Bahamian company headed by Bahamians Anthony Farrington, an engineer, Anthony Ferguson, financial analyst and businessman, Anthony Myers, a lot of Anthonys, a businessman, and Greg Stewart.
2020 tone.
Oh boy, okay. Greg Stewart, who's a businessman. Cooper says that their mission is to transform GBIA into a carbon-neutral, climate-resilient, commercially viable world-class airport. Subject to final designs, this is expected to be an investment of $200 million in that range, and this investment will begin its preliminary work this quarter, this month actually. And the airport, of course, was badly damaged in Hurricane Dorian back in September 2019, and its poor state is considered a key impediment to the revival of the Grand Bahamian economy. Well, one of many issues there. U.S. Customs and Border Protection pre-clearance never returned after Dorian. And Cooper noted that, quote, one of the critical factors in getting the Grand Lucayan sold and getting the Grand Bahama economy revived is to have a world-class international airport that can accommodate U.S. pre-clearance. He also said that the airport will consist of 2 phases, which are expected to generate 1,200 construction jobs consistently over the next 5 years. 90% of these jobs are to be reserved for Bahamians, and work permits will only be granted where Bahamians cannot be found in accordance with immigration laws. He also advised that during the construction of Phase 1, the new Grand Bahama International Airport, 300 construction jobs will be created, with another 50 engineering, management, and accounting jobs. Phase 1 will consist of the domestic terminal and the U.S. pre-clearance terminal, new initial taxiways and aprons, new initial roads and car parks, a flood mitigation system, desperately needed, and a flood attenuation basin, renewable energy systems, a sea defense berm, and support bridges and air freight cargo facilities. Okay, so we're wondering about that, what's going to be done to mitigate the flooding, and whether that needed to move entirely. Many people were saying that it is not, it's probably not in the best place, but if something can be done, and hopefully this group has done their homework to see if that can be mitigated. Phase 2 now will consist of new expanded taxiways and aprons, a new domestic parallel runway, new expanded roads and car parks, and its focus will be on heavy lift air freight cargo. And Cooper also saying to Business Outlook yesterday that they have many international airlines and partners interested in making Grand Bahama an air cargo hub for the region and Latin America. He said the construction of the cargo zone is expected to commence within 3 years. The new business at the cargo zone will create additionally 50 permanent jobs consistently each year over the next 10 years, resulting in at least 500 new jobs in Grand Bahama. Aerodrome, he says, will develop and finance the airport as well as manage the project under contract with the Freeport Airport Development Company, and that BHMCI will be the design builder. Manchester Airport Group will operate the airport. Aero will enter into an agreement with Manchester Airport Group to come up with a facility and management fee structure, and net profits from the airport operations of funds will go into an airport infrastructure fund. And this is a quote from Cooper. He says, let me just say that this comes with excitement for all of us because we expect, as I've said before, that works will begin before the end of this quarter. Full design works are underway. Assessments, there will be a full team on the ground on March 27th. Demolition of the old International Terminal storage facility will begin before the end of this month or the first week in April. Repairs of the air traffic control towers will begin immediately, as well as staging in the repairs of the customs storage building. These works will begin and given to Grand Bahama contractors for the benefit of residents in Grand Bahama. All right. And Cooper saying that airlift is increasing and will increase even further when the new airport is open. Let's talk about it. Let's get your reaction to this, and what else we've been hearing about. The three people who have made an offer for the Grand Lucayan, for the Grand Lucayan Resort. The offers are being vetted now, we're told, and lots of talk from the Grand Bahama Port Authority about projects in the pipeline. Royal Caribbean and ITM still looking at their cruise port. Carnival still looking at theirs. Are you feeling optimistic, or is it still just talk? And is there, again, I keep asking about this, and am I just a crazy person, but is there an overall plan, or is it just whoever has something they want to do, come to us, and we'll see if we can accommodate it? Are we telling people what we want? And can you do this? Not specifics, but just like we are looking for this here. Can you do this? Or we just say, hey, you got any ideas? Come and yeah, sounds good. You could do it. Bam.
Didn't the former PLB administration come up with a plan
for what?
Like a 40-year plan or something?
Are you talking about the National Development Plan?
Yeah.
We were in the beginning stages of it.
No, I'm just saying.
It didn't have. It was setting the framework for it. There was a lot of work to be done.
I know. That there's always a lot of work to be done, but I'm saying like that shouldn't that have set like the goal to what we're trying to achieve, especially when you have something like tourism.
It didn't do that.
I'm just saying.
But we were on the path to do it.
How far off are we from that?
What? Is that a thing anymore?
Why wouldn't it be?
It's Stephen.
We can't keep changing every 10 seconds.
We can't, but we do.
Yeah. That's why we don't get nowhere, Dwight.
Yes, we know.
Like, I know that for the Bahamian people, we feel like switching governments every 5 years makes sense.
I don't think we think that.
Good.
But we're just so sickened by the people who came before that we have to get rid of them.
Yeah, but that's not... Why don't we get rid of the ones who aren't doing anything?
The who?
The ones who aren't doing anything.
Who are you talking about?
Whoever.
You're talking about the governments or the
individuals within the government? It's as opposed to resetting, doing this hard reset every 5 years. I mean, of course, that would require us to become a republic and like reconfigure our entire
and nobody wants
system.
To do that.
It's not that nobody wants to do it. The persons who have the ability to do it, the easiest and the quickest, have no motivation to do it.
Who are those people?
The people in cabinet.
Well, you could easily change that.
Yeah, how? Now you're talking about this. Oh. You can't easily change that.
Oh, you very easily can.
Tell us, Dwight.
Very easily. I can tell you some on air, and others I'll have to tell you
exactly,
off air.
Dwight.
So but if they're not willing to listen. Did you all see what's happening in France and Israel today?
Please.
Interesting.
People.
Interesting what's going on over there. But let's get your reaction to it. What do you think of what's happening, Grandma? When you're not pleased with stuff, you don't sit back and complain about it. and call talk shows and just run on. You don't do that if you're really serious, right? But anyway, but what do you think about Grand Bahama? What do you think? Is this it finally, or is it still a little too up in the air? Does there need to be a firm?
That's not
plan?
a question. There needs to be a firm.
No,
plan.
no, I don't know.
No. The fact that
say,
somebody disagrees with whether or not, that's like saying, does there need to be oxygen or water? Yes, it is. No, you need to have
people
a plan.
saying, let anybody come. We need anything we can get.
Right. And
whatever we'll take.
And so when somebody says, oh, I want to turn Freeport into a red light district and we just want prostitution free and abounding, if it doesn't match what you want, then no. But you have to want something.
But if that person came with the right amount of money, some folks would agree.
And now we get back to my original point. What is it that you're looking for? Are you looking to fix a problem, or are you looking to make money? Because if you're looking to make money, then let's just sell drugs. But if you're trying to fix a problem in this country, if you need a plan, you need to say, this is what we want. This is how we want our country to look like. It can't just be about money. And this is for all the people who every time I say, you can't start a business with the sole point of making money, because that's how you end up with a business owner, don't give you no health insurance, paying you minimum wage, asking you to work double shift, don't want to pay you overtime, ain't paying your national health insurance, ain't paying national insurance for you, ain't paying nothing for you. But then turn around and the government say, hey, could you charge 5 cents less on mayonnaise? And they say, I'll shut this whole place down. I'll burn this place down before I let this happen.
Falling into the
No.
into the weeds.
Because capitalism is evil. These little Satan demons running around here like to
commercial radio station. So don't talk like that here, please.
Go ahead.
Save
Take
it
your
for
call.
NPR when you get there. Good morning, caller on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Listen, Stephen, I'm with you on this with this national development plan. You know, we've been like Alice in Wonderland for the last 50 years. You know, we don't have a plan. Any road will take us, will get us to our destination. And, you know, I spoke to another talk show host on the same thing, and he said, well, you know, when governments come in, they have a right to, you know, dismantle this and dismantle that. And all we do is just waste up a whole bunch of money.
I don't think they have the right to do it. I don't think so.
Just because you have the right to do it doesn't mean you have to do it.
They do it, but if we all are on board
you know
with
why?
it.
Because it's not their money, it's our money.
Yeah.
And they don't have to pay.
Yeah.
But I am happy for Grand Bahama. I don't live in Grand Bahama. But my question, Dwight and Stephen, is, you know, when the former government was in and the former Minister of Tourism and Aviation, Mr. Tiagla, was there, he said that he had negotiated with the FTA, whatever it is, that who was in charge of our airspace, and we would be getting X amount of monies every year from them. And you know, I think, weeks ago, there was a case where some of the airlines took us to court, and we won, and so we have the right to charge. My question is, have we ever gotten any funds from these people? And according to them, these funds were supposed to go directly into the aviation sector to maintain our airport and to build more airports. So we as Miami shouldn't be paying any taxes, any new taxes for these airports. Where has the money gone? Have we gotten any money from these people over the last 6 or 7 years?
I believe they are paying the fees. Right. They have a problem with the structure. They have a problem with the amount of fees. But I mean, there's no way that they'll stop
from them. Where has the money gone?
Now, see, that's a different thing. No, because yes, the consolidated fund. I mean, unless they made a special vehicle for it.
Yeah,
but don't expect that you will never have to pay fees.
We need accountability, man. We need transparency. All of these things should be under the Freedom of Information Act, so people can know exactly.
I think you can find out that information. I think so, but there's no way that you will ever they'll stop saying that you have to pay fees. It's never going to happen. Don't hold your breath for that one. No, don't hold your breath for that one. But that matter's not exactly finished yet. I think they're still investigating this.
Right.
It's
about
still
the amount or something?
But our case was made, and the initial finding was that we are justified in what we're doing, but it's not over yet. But let's take some more calls. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning to your co-host, Stephen, and to your listening audience. Dwight, you know, in this 50th anniversary year of our country's independence, I am sick and tired of hearing our government leaders talk about direct foreign investors, and all we are seeking to get from them primarily is a bunch of low-end jobs. It is sickening for me to continue to hear that kind of talk. When we look at Grand Bahama, for example, that hotel down there, we should have already been able to do something with that property. I know a proposal was presented by a group of us to at least take a part of that property and start to activate it by presenting a Bahamian experience in Grand Bahama. We didn't even get the courtesy of a response from no government, including this one. We must have ownership in this country if we hope to grow our country over the next 50 years. I completely agree with the minister responsible for education, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, when she said that we should stop all of this looking at these various developments and giving foreigners control of our private islands and concentrate on the development of the Bahamian experience on the primary island of New Providence and other family islands. We have to stop this madness, because if you continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results, you are an insane country. We must stop it. And so, Dwight, I urge all Bahamians who have the intestinal fortitude to demand from our government that we stop and put a moratorium on all this foreign direct investment and invest in Bahamians so that we can grow our country for the Bahamian people, primarily.
Oh, boy.
All of these all-inclusive properties that bring in all this foreign entertainment and management. There are no Bahamians who could provide these services. What about these mega resorts? Having all these foreigners managing restaurants and entertainment facilities. We have to stop it, Dwight. We are regressing. There used to be a time in this country where Bahamians were general managers of these mega resorts. Tell me which one today we can say that a Bahamian is in charge of. Name one for me, please. I'm going to hang up and listen.
Okay, thanks a lot. Well, I don't know about the mega ones, but smaller ones, perhaps.
Oh, Dwight, you're doing the same thing that Idris Elba did this morning.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
That
I
most,
don't know. I didn't say that at all. I said he's right. I can't name a big one, but the smaller ones.
Don't confuse the mom and pops.
I didn't say most at all.
With the bigger.
You're the one who did it. I didn't say that. But anyway, some text messages as we get ready to wrap things up. This person says here, I think they're playing politics. Why do we have to wait until 2025 for the first phase to be complete? I'm sure you're not serious, Texter. I mean, it takes some time to build an airport.
Right.
Are you serious?
You don't want an airport to be built in 4 months.
Yeah.
Because then it would either be
look just like what it looks now.
It'll be either a trailer.
They got a trailer and a tent.
A trailer.
Good God.
And not even like asphalt run.
2025 is pretty soon.
Yeah, that's less than 2 years away.
Okay, I don't understand what's going on here. So let's be sensible. This person says here, the airport construction, when it begins, is a good start. Apart from the problem, governments take too long to do something in Grand Bahama. Many people who have relocated in North America and New Providence have already moved their families and invested elsewhere. I hear you.
But here's the thing, though. People will come to where there's opportunity.
Yeah.
And that is both as domestic as well as an international thing. So it's like, if you have an opportunity for growth, and part of the opportunity is also infrastructure. You can't just say we have sun, sand, and sea. It has to be more than that. What is the proposition? If you come here, you can do this, and this is how you can do it, and here's the clear path to succeeding to that. But for that to work, You have to have a plan.
Yeah.
The plan for each of these islands has to be laid out. In my heart, and from what I know personally from where I work, I can feel like certain islands have plans laid out for them. Whereas like, okay,
Who did it?
Oh, the people within the islands.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, to some extent, as well as the
To some
government.
extent.
Right, and the government. Because like, okay, this island is doing really well in fishing. This island's doing good in agriculture. So we're going to push further in this direction, in this development. And that makes sense. For other islands where all the persons who were fishing and were farming have left, and now you have a blank slate, perhaps it isn't as simple as just going right back to fishing and farming. Perhaps they could be developed into something else, right? What else does the country need as a whole? What are you guys good at? What is the easiest thing to build infrastructure-wise on these islands, like Rum Key and Ragged Island and Auckland and St. Salvador and these other islands that are so far south that we seem to have forgotten about them.
But I implore those islands not to wait for the central government to tell you what the plan is.
They don't get Guardian down there.
So Grandmama as well, don't wait. Don't wait.
Definitely
come up with your plan, and don't try to be a part of the central government machinery. Just stay focused and write it down, tell it to everyone, tell everybody what you want, and hopefully people will get it. That
Grandmama's in a good position to do stuff within themselves.
It's slipping away, though. It's slipping away, and but this is the time. This is the time, and we need it for New Providence as well, and Abaco, and so many other islands. This text, this is a whole other show here, but this text, Stephen, you think about this on the weekend, I guess.
You want me to think about it? You want me to waste my weekend?
Stephen conveniently overlooks the failures of various socialist regimes in his constant crusade to demonize capitalism. It is not the primary function of businesses to fulfill a social need. They may very well do so, but businesses exist to turn the greatest profit possible. Why would a business prioritize the fulfillment of a social objective if it couldn't ensure that it could remain financially viable? Or are staff going to volunteer their services?
I don't need to think about it over the weekend. Is the business operating inside a void? Is the business operating inside a void? Are you not a part of the country? Oh, you're not a Bahamian. Okay, cool. They take your garbage out elsewhere.
No, Stephen. I think you are being extreme.
No, they're being extreme because they're like, oh, they're failings of socialist countries. They're failings of capitalist countries, including the one that we're in. Wow. What are you talking about? Right. That's ridiculous. You're silly. Right. You're being ridiculous.
Can you say one nice thing today, Stephen?
That's the one nice thing.
Make sure it's nice.
Most
please.
capitalists.
No, it's not nice. You started off grumpy from the moment you walked in the door.
Because it's the wrong chair and the microphone.
Say something nice to the Bahamian people as we go.
Most Bahamians.
Oh, Lord. What?
Most Bahamians probably wouldn't like capitalism if they really knew what it was.
Oh, my gosh. That's the nice thing
I
to
could say. Yes.
You need to take a very long weekend to sleep or something. I don't know what's going on.
You know, I would, but I live in a capitalist country.
It's insane.
You know, there's no ethical consumption.
Okay. Let's really turn his mic off. Everybody, my gosh. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. I'll be back on Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Be safe. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Down out on bed.